Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the national anthem of Australia.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to AFL Canberra Grand Final Day for 2016 here at Manuka Oval between traditional rivals Ainslie Tricolours and the Queanbeyan Tigers. Joining me in the commentary box this afternoon is none other than the Tuggeranong skipper for season 2016, Chris Robinson. Welcome to the program, Robbo. Good to have you with us. And of course, joining me on my right-hand side is the Giants Academy coach, former Hawks coach out at Tuggeranong and former Eastlake player in David Evans. Welcome to the broadcast, David.
Thanks, Brett.
Great to have you gentlemen here. Of course, this is the season finale for 2016. Can the Tricolours make it 3 in a row after winning the Rising Stars and also taking out the second grade competition, going for the three-peat? Be a big night at Wakefield Avenue at the social clubs tonight if they get up, but we'll go through the sides. Chris, you've had a look at Queanbeyan. Where can they win and how?
I think key for Queanbeyan is making everything a contest today. They're a pretty physical team. I think Ainslie won't enjoy that as much. You get big Cam Milne getting first hands to it, you get Swanee running hard forward, and Cade and Brycey sweeping up everything at the back.
There you have it. The ledger stands at 2-1. Of course, the Tricolours winning 2 encounters to the Tigers once. So it's an interesting clash. David, where can the, I guess, the favourites in the Tricolours come away with it today?
I think, Brett, Bowlesy down back is probably going to be the key for them. Ash Harris and Aaron Wallace for the midfield, and clearly Nick Salter, leading goalkeeper for the year, is going to be hard for Queanbeyan to stop.
So there you have it, guys. In a nutshell, your tip today, David?
I'll go with Ainslie.
By?
6 goals.
And for you, Chris, your tip today?
Going off the other results, it could be 3 goals. Ainslie win by 3 goals, maybe. Same as the last 2 games.
I think I'll go for the Tricolours as well. There is some doubt over the captain or the coach of the club in Cade Clinkley. A big blow. He has been suffering for a hamstring injury. He has gone straight to the bench. But we'll have a look at the middle of the ground. This is where it's going to be won and lost, of course. Milne, the form ruckman for the Queanbeyan Tigers, wearing the 42, doing battle against big Maynard, is it, the number 11 for the... No, it's Vardeniger. No, sorry, not Vardeniger. It is Maynard wearing the 11.
Interesting, you've got Nick Salter starting in the guts there for Ainslie instead of down home at the goal square, so we'll see what happens there.
Just about set for the bounce as we wait for the whistle as the umpire puts the ball down. It's Maynard to do battle with Milne. 2016 AFL Canberra Grand Final, and the 2 ruckmen go at it, and then they go up in the air, and it's Milne that gets first hand of the ball out to Wiles, but it's Salter who gets first hands, puts it onto the boot and puts it down. Under the ball there is Reid Stevens, of course, brother of Kane. Kane in the crowd wearing the number 10 for the Tigers. Reid Stevens brings it along to the centre wing, broadcast side looking for Swan, out to Grocott. Grocott brings it to ground, fumbles the ball, does a pirouette, gets on his hands, a little bit unsure what to do with it. Out now, at 6s and 7s, Swans tried to break the tackle there for the Queanbeyan Tigers, but they paddled along the ground, and it comes along now as it comes out to the half-forward line, out towards Clowry, but it's taken away by the Tricolours at half-back with an ugly-looking kick. down there towards that of Sinkovitz. Out to the number 7 in Lawless. Lawless out to, I think it was Rice that got a quick kick away. Out to the lead of Nick Payne. And Payne about 45 metres out, having a shot at goal, the sharpshooter in Payne, David.
It was a good start. Both teams are pretty hard at it. And footy's hot, but Rice has got a nice one out to Payne there, so we'll see how he goes.
Left the whole 50 open for him there. Payne's always been hard to stop when he's got that much space to himself.
Here we go, Nick Payne, he's probably the deadliest shot in the competition. Gets the tricolours off to the first points here in the AFL 2016 Canberra Grand Final. That's Nick Payne on the left boot. He puts the tricolours to the front there, so they'll have to watch him. It's a key matchup for the Queanbeyan Tigers. Might have to play a little bit of a sweeper in front of him, I think, Chris, to stop Nick's influence on the game today.
Definitely someone back there to help Pricey out. Can't leave him all the space in front.
As they bring the ball back to the middle of the ground, it's the tricolours that draw first blood. One straight kick as the two ruckmen in Maynard and Milne, the two M's, the M&M's go at it. Waiting for the umpire to put the ball down in the middle here at Star Trek Oval, and it's won by Milne, taken away by Rice. That's his second kick in a matter of minutes, and it goes down there towards that of Price. I think Price clears it away for the Queanbeyan Tigers. Out there is an awkward-looking bounce out towards Barry for the tricolours here on the centre wing. He gets what I thought was an illegal disposal. The umpire says, no, thank you, it's gone out of bounds, and we're going to throw it in.
2 minutes gone, 3 inside 50s to none. Ainsley up at the moment.
And the ball's just hit Aaron Wiles on the back of the head, of course, polled very well in the Mulrooney on Sunday night, and it's taken away. A quick kick inside the forward 50 here, and it's taken away by the tricolours, leading the race for the ball, coming out of the back flank now, and it was that of Jack Kuzner, of course, a local junior, and they're out at centre wing, far on the Canberra, out to Kuzner again, and tricolours steady, put it down the line towards the captain in Ash Harris, but it's gone out of bounds, and too much carry on it, out of bounds on the full for a free kick to the Tigers in the back flank.
Interesting to see here too for Ainsley. It looks like Simon Curtis has started at half forward instead of up around the footy, so maybe throwing a couple of change ups, and Cade's just snuck on to the full back line for Queanbeyan too.
So I'd suggest he's going forward as Cade Klemke and gone down to marking for the tricolours. If you can keep an eye on that one for me, David. It's young Max Richardson, of course. His father, it's broken by there. Barry gets it quickly on the left boot, gets it in towards that of Payne, and the umpire said that Andrew Swan has tackled him or held his progress up at the footy, and it'll be a free kick to Nick Payne, shooting at his second in a matter of 3 or 4 minutes. So 4 minutes gone in the first quarter here in the AFL Canberra Grand Final. It's the tricolours leading 6 points to nothing.
Pricey just copped Payne high there. I think either feeling around for him or a bit worried about him getting the body on him. Just clipped him up around the ears, and Payne's going to slot his second one probably.
There you have it, he hasn't missed. The sharpshooter and Nick Payne second in a matter of minutes. That gives the tricolours a handy lead by 12 points to nothing.
Yeah, as I alluded to earlier, it's a good start from Ainsley. Got on top in the clearances and the inside 50s, and scoreboard's ticking over quite nicely.
So the Queanbeyan Tigers, they really have to arrest this, probably need to play. Kent Klemke's gone forward. Of course, we've spoken earlier about the hamstring that Cade's carrying, but once you cross the white line, you're declared fit. So ball back in the middle of the ground, the two big men to go. No, neither side really getting ascendancy out of the middle of the ground. It's Milne to go with Maynard. And it's an awkward bounce by the umpire. He'll call it back here and we'll have a reset. He'll throw it up in the middle of the ground. Beautiful day here in Canberra for the 2016 Grand Final. Of course, the tricolours kicking towards the Kingston end, and the Queanbeyan Tigers kicking towards the Manuka end, and caught high there, but it's just taken away there, and he does a lot of work there. His Costigan gets a good handball away, and the run there from the tricolours, and it's taken away there by that of Sinkovitz. Sinkovitz now on centre wing, goes with a left foot out towards Rice, and it's now turned over in the middle of the ground. Andrew Swan, ball in hand, gets a quick handball over to the ruckman in Milne. Milne's in the centre of the ground now. He spots up a loose player out there with a poor look kick. It was it Jason Taylor out there, but it's quickly taken away there by that of the tricolours defence in Headington, I think it was. And it's a quick mark taken out there on the to Michael Lawless. Lawless puts it inside the 50 towards that of Salter. Salter just runs it over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary line throw in. 6 minutes gone here in the first quarter. It's the Tricolours leading 12 points to nil.
Quick movement over at half back there by Aaron Wiles. 1-2 with Simon Curtis, and Wiles has come to the bench. Not the biggest tank on him.
So Aaron Wiles, of course, a former teammate of yours, Chris, in your season at the now what is the Canberra Demons when Eastlake were in the NEFL competition, but the Tigers, they take it away. It's out towards Klemke. Klemke showed a lot of skill there on Bales. He eludes one and wrong foots him, showed him a bit of candy, gets it on the left foot, but out of bounds on the full, and we'll have a free kick to the Tricolours, and it's going to be taken by Jumpin' Jack Kuzna.
Really, Queensland to be hoping to try and lock this in and get some scoreboard happening themselves, but yeah, it looks like Maiden's going to release them now.
So Maiden, of course, the former Demon, over towards that of Bowles. Bowles gets out to Rice. Looks like he's carrying a bit of a knee injury, but a remarkable effort from Jim Rice. I think he's about 38 years of age to still be playing top-level footy. Of course, captain coached Narandra to a grand final victory a couple of seasons ago. Come back to coach the Tricolours in the twos last year and concentrated on the footy, but it's taken away out there from the back of the contest, and now it's out there towards the Queanbeyan Tigers, and they tried to go through, and he tried to create his own way, was Dean Ross. Of course, the umpire says, no, thank you, I'll have it, as the crowd pleads for it here. Good crowd on hand here at Star Trek Oval here in Manuka, Chris. What's your estimation?
Terrible with numbers, Davo, but looks like there's still a couple filtering in, so hopefully it keeps growing as the game goes on.
Obviously had a few bit of a lineup, but there's a blood rule, and I think it's Rice been sent to the bench there as Wiles comes back on, and Maynard.
No, it was Maynard come off with the blood rule, so Wiles back on through the mids. So they're rotating pretty heavily through the midfield at the moment.
So back here at roughly around 55, 60 metres from the Queanbeyan goal, and a bit of physicality there. Curtis just diving into the back there of that of Jason Taylor, of course the former Demons player. Hasn't been cited much in the NEFL program in 2016, but it'll stand him in good stead here. It's Milne who gets a good tap away, doesn't really go anywhere, and it's punched through the air by Letter, I think, and that's just taken away over the boundary line, and we'll have another boundary line thrown right in front of the Ainslie interchange bench. 8 minutes gone. It's the Tricolours leading 2-0 to the Tigers yet to score. Ball thrown in, and Milne gets first use out towards Ross. Curtis tried to make a pathway through, didn't really come off. That should have been a free kick there against Sinkowitz, but it's not paid. But he wins up his own ball out towards that of Costigan. Costigan quickly under the left boot, and there's an awkward bounce down there, and it's tapped down by Hupt. Hupt with a good tap to Lawless. Lawless is ever the sharpshooter. That's Michael Lawless, and he has cracked his first goal, and the Tricolours third for the afternoon, Chris.
Yeah, they're off to a flyer here. Queanbeyan will want to kick the next one, that's for sure. Interesting to see Henry Delves pinch it in the ruck while Maynard's on the pine. So going with a more mobile ruckman, I guess, is a second.
So a great start here by the Tricolours. 9 minutes gone, 3 goals on the board. What can the Tigers do, David?
As I keep alluding to, the clearances and the inside 50s are way in front for Ainslie, and that's showing up on the scoreboard. So yeah, next opportunity they get it down there, I think Queanbeyan obviously need to get the scoreboard ticking over.
So they've made a change. It's Swan in the ruck. I think it was Hupp that went up in the ruck there, and it's been won away there, and it's taken away by Swan. He gets it quickly on the boot for the Tigers, down towards that of, down there towards Grocott. Grocott is successful onto the left boot. He might get the first score. That's going to go over their head. He's a good player, is young Matthew Grocott. One of the rising stars out there at Tigerland. He's kicked his first, and the Tigers first for the afternoon. So it gives pulled back the margin there to 12 points.
Yeah, not a bad young player, Growy. Got named at centre forward, I'm pretty sure, in Team of the Year yesterday at Grand Final lunch. Always swings onto that left foot. He's got a natural arc like Buddy, and can slot home a long goal like we just saw.
And there you have it, the inside, the intel from the Hawks captain in Chris Robinson. David, a handy goal there for the Tigers.
Yeah, they definitely needed one, Brett. Brings the score back to a 2-goal difference, but yeah, they needed that the first goal of the game, they got it, so they're back into it.
Ball back, and it's Swan to do battle. I think the umpire's going to call that one back. I think it's Delves in the ruck there for... Delves has gone into the ruck. Henry Delves, an emerging player. One the Canberra Demons might look at for season 2017. He's taken away by Rice. That's about his third clearance for the Tricolours. Doing well in possibly his swan song, but here's Hurst, the speedster, gets a quick handball out there towards that of Rambo Lawless. Lawless, he feigns one way out towards Salter. Salter puts it to the top of the square. Guess who? Nick Payne shooting for 3. Tricolours could possibly looking at 4. He is ever so quick and ever so deadly inside that forward 50. They'll have to make a change.
There's not many people who'd rather not man up on them painting, especially on grand final day. I think he's one of the few blokes who lives for it. So he's definitely his sort of game.
So there you have it, Nick Payne, 3 of the 4 for the Tricolours, 11 minutes gone. They skip out to a handy break, 4 goals straight, 24 to the Queanbeyan Tigers, 1 goal 6. They look like they might have to change. Bryce, a very, very good defender, but Payne just too good inside the forward 50.
I think credit's got to go to the kicker who centred that. He could have quite easily had a ping from out there, but I think Rorke's discipline's probably come out there. Kick to the top, to the dangerous spot, and Payne marks and goals.
Of course, the kicker was Salter, I think, showed all of the experience. Of course, the former Port Adelaide player. It'll be interesting to see where he lines up in 2017. Could this be his swan song? Of course, the Tricolours shooting for their 3rd on grand final day here in AFL Canberra, winning the Rising Stars in the reserve grade as well. So it's out towards that man in, I think it's Clowry, the former Eastlake Demon. Got a quick handball over the back. It's out to Page. Page puts it out on the full. Young Alex Page just put it out of bounds on the full. Probably had a little bit more time there, Chris, to do something a little bit better with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. He's normally pretty clever, Pagey. He kicked pretty well on both feet, and I think, just rushed himself there. Had a lot more time to steady up. Probably run straight at the goals as well.
There you go. So special comments from the Tuggeranong Hawks captain in Chris Robinson. Enjoyed a very, very good season, of course. Named in the team of the year. 9 votes in the Mulrooney medal. Out towards Klemke. Got an intercept there out to Bowles. He gets a big kick on and he finds that of Maynard, the ruckman. The big Josh Maynard finds another runner. I think it's that of Costigan. Costigan brings it out towards Leder. Leder takes a good mark above his head. Despite the presidency, he goes down towards, I think it's Dells, is it? No, it's Kuzner. Jack Kuzner. I guess the promising thing for the Tricolours is a lot of local juniors out there today. He puts an awkward ball up there. Stood under the ball was Lawless, taken away there by Price. Ryan Price variety. Out towards the run of Swan. Swan gets a handball away over there. I think it's to Slater. Slater gets it down towards that run of Page. Page gets a chance to atone about 60 metres from goal. Brings it back inboard towards Slater. Slater just in front of Rice. In the middle of the ground here at Star Track Oval. Manuka, of course, we're going to see in the AFL the Giants, who've played many good victories here, out towards that of Sinkovitz. It's out towards Ross. He tries to do the miracle, but it just rolls through for a minor score, and probably could have done a little bit better there, young Dean Ross.
I think a change has been made on Payne down there. Price has gone to him, so coaching staff have obviously identified that and made the change up.
So that's Ryan Price who's gone to Payne, kicked 3 goals early out towards that of Milne. No, that's Quaid out there, laser tackle, and it's a quick handball out there towards Delves. Delves on the ground was that of Wiles out towards Leder. Leder gets a quick handball in there and it's taken away there by the Queanbeyan Tigers as they put it down towards that of Ross. Ross with a quick handball away to Reid Stevens. Reid Stevens with a pie floater. But I'll tell you what, he's kicked it from outside 50. So just like his done of a brother, Reid Stevens. I wonder if he'll wear the Superman cape today, because Kane Stevens played a monumental grand final 3 or 4 years ago against the Sydney Swans, when against all the odds the Queanbeyan Tigers got up over the Sydney Swans.
Tell you what, it was ugly, but it was really effective. Can't argue with them when they go through the big sticks, can you?
Of course, plenty of support in the crowd from his brother, fresh from inking a 2-year deal over there at Adelaide. So great to see him back here in the nation's capital, here on grand final day, as they peg it back to within a couple of straight kicks now. Back to the middle of the ground. It'll be Milne back in the ruck against big Maynard. Both big boys, Maynard and Milne. Umpire, perfect bounce in the middle of the ground. It goes down to Milne. He gets first hands. Great tap of the footy, but it goes out towards Sinkovitz, out towards Maynard. He hacks it out of the ground, out towards that of Harris and Lawless. They've played a lot of games of footy together. 2 rough nuts, 2 tough nuts, and 2 very good footballs. Out towards Leder. Leder puts it out towards that man in pain.
There he is again. The coaching staff at Queanbeyan made that change, but in saying that, it was a good lead, good kick. Not much the backman can do there. Payne lining up for number 4.
So there you go, Nick Payne shooting for number 4 with that left boot. Can he get the tricolours 5th? I think he has. Goal umpire hasn't moved. You betcha. Nick Payne, 4 goals in 16 minutes of footy. He is on target for a bag for Chris.
I'm really nervous for the Queanbeyan back line up here, and yeah, I don't know. They've just got to stop the supply getting down to him, I guess. Put more pressure on the midfielders, and if they keep kicking to space, no backman's going to go with him.
So there you have it. Of course, Chris, you would have played on Nick a couple of times during your football career. Of course, the Tricolours being welcomed back into AFL Canberra competition after a couple of seasons in the NEFL program. And they've only lost the 1 game all season, so they go into this game with raging not favourites. Of course, Queanbeyan got over the line against arch rivals in Belconnen last week. Lost a couple of their key players in young Palombi, who has a vertebrae problem, and of course we think Cade Klemke has a hamstring injury. It's been marked by Bowles. We'll wait for the umpire to bring it back. Are we going to get some showers here at Star Trek Oval?
It's looking like a bit overcast. We could get some rain as the game progresses. Another clearance to Ainsley.
Well, it's the Tricolours, and that was through Jed Costigan. Costigan out towards that of Salter, and it is, I think it's Ryan Quaid playing on Nick Salter. So Salter will line up on the 50, dead set on the 50, shooting for Ainsley's 6th. So a very lethal combination inside the forward 50 for the Tricolours in Salter and Payne. Chris?
Yeah, probably the premier forward line in the comp. And we've got ex-AFL full forward playing down there. It's hard to top it, but Payne and him are really clicking today, leaving a lot of space for Payne, working hard back in, and I don't know, there's always a chance to bomb one or two from 55, Salt.
A beautiful kick of the football. It comes out to Grocott, who's right down at the back flank there. They're looking for Freeland, but Grocott goes onto that trusty left foot, and that's a good kick as he spots up Page. Page tries to quickly move it on now. Page puts it inside the forward 50. Who's he looking for down there? It was down to Clowry, but well done to the Ainsley defenders. Out towards Big Maynard, who gets his hands towards the speedster of Hurst. Hurst for the Tricolours goes backwards towards Maiden. Maiden looks to switch the ball across the ground now as they go towards the experienced Bowles. Big boy is Damien Bowles, and he tries to take on Grocott, but he gets a handball away. It's out there towards Kuzna. Kuzna brings it down towards that of his teammate. I think it's Chris Barry out there on the centre wing, but good pressure applied there by the Tigers. We'll have a boundary line throw in right on the Kingston physiotherapy sign here at Star Trek Oval in Manuka. 19 minutes gone. It is the Tricolours by 3 goals, 31-13. As the ball's thrown in, it's taken by, I think it was Page again out there for the Tigers, and Swan lays a heavy tackle. The ball not really coming out. It is somehow stolen there by Andrew Swan. Swan puts it inside the forward 50. They're getting a few opportunities inside the forward 50, but the Ainsley defence is just standing resolute, and he's been a star. He's had a lot of the footy as Kuzna, and he brings it out through there. I think it's that of Slater. Slater now. It comes out towards Reed Stevens, who puts a long kick inside the forward 50. Out the back here now, and it's looking for the Queanbeyan Tigers. I think it's Vardenigan, is it out there? It's Nathan Edwards, and a bit of push and shove, bit of argy-bargy. So Freeland standing up for his teammate. It'll be a throw-in inside the forward 50, about 25 metres from the Tigers' goal. They need to bang a couple on quickly to get the scoreboard back in check, and it's taken away there by that of the Tricolours, and it's taken away by Costigan. He brings it out towards Lawless. It comes off his boot into the middle side of the 50. Leder bending over the footy, not really wanting to pick it up. Now he picks it up and gets it away, and he's got a free kick for his efforts, Daniel Leder.
Forward pressure's been better from Queen in the last 4 or 5 minutes, and they've had the footy down there a fair bit, but unfortunately that free kick's given them an easy release.
It's Bowles bringing the ball back down there towards that of Simon Curtis. Curtis dropped the mark and Sinkovitz out there now. And of course the boy from Ling Warren, he gets it out now towards that of Salter, I think. He puts it inside that spot. Guess who? And none other, Nick Payne shooting for 5.
Yeah, just I think Curtis there was quicker to react after the first disposal. Got around the outside and hit that dangerous spot, 20 out, straight in front. And Payne's too good with the body, and Pricey was just a bit slow on the uptake.
I think there's only one option left for Nick Payne, and that'd be me sending Cade Kempsey back to Nick Payne, and they've just got to throw out all stops, otherwise this game's going to get away.
Yeah, like I alluded to, that forward pressure was good, but Ainsley, Queenman gave that free kick away and pretty much coast to coast in the goal. Good discipline from Curtis with that kick to the hot spot, as Robbo alluded to, and Payne's got 5 of the 6 now.
So, of course, suffering some lower back and hamstring injuries throughout season 2016. They've worked very hard to get him back on track, and you can see why. He is just a star inside that forward 50, Nick Payne. Ball back in the middle of the ground. It's Milne to do battle with Maynard. A couple of bigger bodies in there. Swan's in there for the good tap backwards, but it's well read by that of Wiles. Wiles is wrapped up by Ross from the Tigers. Ball not really coming out. 22 minutes gone in the first quarter. AFL Canberra Grand Final Day 2016. 6 goals placed 2. It's a quick kick by Page off that of Swan. Swan tries to beat 2 or 3 would-be tacklers, and the umpire has said no way, and it's a free kick to Damien Bowles. Bowles now at half-back on the back of the square here at Manuka Oval. Bowles will drive this long. That he does. He goes down there looking for Sinkovitz and Salter. It was punched away by Quaid. Taken away there by Page. No Clowry. It is Clowry for the Queanbeyan Tigers, and a good grab taken there by Grocott at the back. He goes onto that left foot and goes long and gets a bounce. Gets a favourable bounce. Young Matty Grocott gets his second, and that's why he's a star of the AFL Canberra competition.
Really good movement there. Timmy Clowry got the ball, went straight through the corridor, didn't bother going wide and wasting time. And Growy 101's a pretty hard prospect for anyone. And when he turns and burns, he's got the whole 50. He just lobs it in the goal square and hopes for the bounce.
So there you have it. The Tigers, they're not really out of it. They really haven't had a lot of bounce of the footy, but when they do go forward, they do look lively, David.
Yeah, the last 5 or 10 minutes has been, forward pressure's been good, and they're taking their chances. So, yep. 3 goals up to Ainsley, but Queanbeyan are by no means out of it.
Yeah, the scoreboard doesn't really do the Tigers' efforts justice. So 3 goals, 6-1-37, 3-1-19. The big blokes go in the middle of the ground again. It is Milne against Maynard. Maynard grabs it out of the ruck, and it should have been a free kick there to that of Lawless, but it's taken away out of there by Larry again. He puts it down towards the run of Page. Page tries to double hand and swat it over the back there. Max Richardson, who, no, it was Delves, I think. And Teasdale it was for the Tricolours. They look very similar to Kuzner, Teasdale and Delves. They all look very similar, all nice sizes, running 6-footers. So he's assembled a very good list as the coach, the longest serving coach for the Tricolours in Rourke. They put it down. That should have been a free kick over the shoulder. The umpire says play on, and it's taken away now by Clowry again. Clowry looks like he's gone down into the back 50 to try and stiffen up. So he's playing loose, the sweeper across the back of the ground. It's out towards Maynard. Maynard should have probably taken. They've got a fist toward it, out towards that of Maiden. It's taken away there by that of from the Tricolours. Taken away. And it's now into the hands, and I think there's a 50-metre penalty. Reid Stevens, he gets a chance maybe for his second. It'll bring him up to against Delves, was it? What was that for, Chris?
Late contact, I think, Davo. Reid
Right on 50 is Reid Stevens, of course, played a couple of NEFL games for the Canberra Demons. He puts it high to the top of the square. Can someone from Queanbeyan take a big grab? No, but it's the captain or the coach in Cade Klemke. He was very experienced, and they put a lot of forward pressure on there and wrap up the Ainsley defenders and not really getting out of there. The umpire says, I'll have it. About 15 metres from the Tigers' goal. 25 gone here in AFL Canberra 2016 Grand Final Day. 6-1-37 plays 3-1-19. It's taken away by Costigan. He puts a dangerous kick back into the corridor there, and it's taken away by the experienced Salter. Salter just handballs the ball away, and it's into the arms there of the Tigers, and they put a quick scrubby kick in. I think it's Richardson or Delves. Umpire says play on. Doesn't really know what to do with it. Finds the run of Rice. Rice now on the half-back flank, bringing it down towards centre wing, towards that of Lawless. And it's taken away over the boundary line. I think Ryan Price has gone to Michael Lawless now. Ian Lawless. Michael Lawless has gone to.
Queanbeyan got a lot of spare numbers behind the footy, so I think they might have thrown one behind the play there. Clowry's free at the moment, and Reid Stevens for those couple of stoppages before that. So they've got the release now, but straight to Clowry's at spare, and he's spilled a sitter.
It's over the boundary line, so 26, 27 minutes gone. We should get probably a 31, 32 minute quarter here. Grand final day, AFL Canberra. Boundary umpire 65 from the Ainsley goal. Entertaining first quarter. It's the Tricolours, and a big punch there from the sides taken away by Rice. Has been the clearance king in there. He gets it out quickly towards that of the Tricolours, and they put it inside the forward 50, but it comes out just as quick through Fruin towards that of Grocott. It goes down to ground, was Costigan. Grocott swings onto that left foot into the middle of the ground. Who's he looking for? He's got a couple of mates there in the middle of the ground, but it's well read there from the Tricolours defence out towards Hurst. Hurst out towards that of Milne and Grocott. They spoiled each other, the Tigers teammates. It's now out there towards Wiles. Wiles got a quick hack out there on the left foot. It goes out towards that of Bryce. Bryce now, he's run the ball out. The umpire says, yes, it's out. And Ryan Price, he's going to give away a free kick for a very, very ill-disciplined throw of the ball at the opposition's head.
Yeah, he's a bit of a hothead sometimes, Pricey. Just silly. Paney went and just tried to wind him up. Probably knows him as well as everyone else. And Pricey did the silly thing and threw the footy at the back of his head. So
the umpire says a free kick there, just a little bit of inexperience, but experience there from that of the ruckman in Milne. So I can't quite pick. It's Nelson Foley, young Nelson Foley, of course, rising through the ranks for the Tricolours. And it's taken away now by Clowry. A couple of effective kicks there at a half-back flank. He's playing behind the ball, the loose man behind the ball. And it's taken away by Hurst. Hurst gets a quick hand towards that of Wiles. Wiles onto the left foot into the middle of the ground there. And they unmarked, and they go down towards that of Lawless. Lawless is going to sit under that. Courageously he did, and it's just shuffled out there towards that of Kuzma. Kuzma tries to go out to Bryce. Bryce with a fend-off comes away with the right boot, clearing kick for the Tigers, who are getting swarmed out there. It's out there towards Curtis. Curtis does a roll, and it should be holding the ball. There's a very, very good tackle there, and it's going to be brought back. The would-be tackler was out there for the Tigers. I can't quite see. It's that of Lancaster. So he brings it out with a big bomb inside the forward 50. He's going to sit under it. There's the defence there from Henry Gells. Gells tried to punch it away onto the left foot there of Page, I think it was. And it's going to be taken away here, and they're going to mop up this, the Tricolours defence.
Last 15 minutes, I really like the way Queanbeyan are transitioning from attacking to defence. I think they're actually doing it better than their opposition at the moment. So we'll come back and do it well.
Just need to get some scoreboard pressure on the Tigers, and it's taken by Swan. Tried to get up there, and it was a big fly there. It was Foley, was it? Now it's come out to Wiles again. He's been very effective for the Tricolours in this opening quarter, out towards that of Barry. Barry tries to jostle for the ball. Should have been a free kick. It's out there towards that of Lawless. Michael Lawless going for his second, and he's hit the post, so only a minor score for the Tricolours.
yeah, interesting. Umpire missed one there. Mitchell Price held on to by Chris Barry as the ball was on the deck, but I know it's not often they get them all, so I guess we'll let this one slide.
As the Tigers transition the ball out to the other side and underneath the scoreboard as they bring it out through Lancaster again. He's on centre wing with a dinky little kick, and that's a poor kick straight into the arms there of the waiting Matthew Teasdale for the Tricolours. Teasdale brings it into the middle of the ground in Curtis. Curtis outstanding in season 2016. Over towards Leder. Daniel Leder, who's had a lot of the footy, of course. Sinkovich, number one, the boy from Lang Warren. Into the middle of the ground, comes towards the captain in Harris. Ash Harris right in the middle of the ground. Unmarked is in the middle there, so that's Ruben Hupp. Hupp goes towards that. Out to Foley. Foley in towards Payne. Sitting under it was Clowry, and they'll have to rush this one through in a hurry because he's been met by would-be tacklers, and it's taken away there by Clowry. Now into the arms of the Tigers defence. I think it's Price, is it? No, it was Fruin, who's another one who's loose down there. Normally better known as a forward is Brett Fruin. So they go out towards Grocott, and it's gone out of bounds on the full. In centre ground will be a free kick to the Tricolours as they bring it in towards Bowles. Bowles with ball in hand on the half-back flank. True centre half-back. Now it's in towards the captain in Harris. Harris into the middle of the ground. Unmarked. His speedster in Hurst. Hurst plays on. Umpire says go on. Out towards that of Lawless, but Reid Stevens courageously sits under the footy and takes a good defensive mark for the Tigers.
I think he must have lost Stevens in the sun there. He was sitting, that was a better kick for him than Mickey Lawless, his teammate.
I think we've got one down. I think it's Lancaster, but that's a good grab there by Kuzma. He's had an outstanding first quarter, has Jack Kuzma. The number 34 for the Tricolours had a lot of the footy in the springboard for a lot of their attack. And they go down, looking down there for Salter, but Reid Stevens has got a lot of similarities to his brother in Kane, doesn't he? So it's Stevens already with a goal to his name, slows the ball, takes a little bit off the clock. 32 minutes gone here. First quarter AFL Canberra 2016 Grand Final. There you have it. 6-2-38. The Tricolours to the Queanbeyan Tigers 3-1-19. Quick 2-minute wrap up, Robbo.
Yeah, I think Ainsley had the quick start, but Queanbeyan started, when they get in that quick movement, they really cut them up. I think they don't want to get caught up in that slow footy where they kick it long down the line because Ainsley got the quality tall stocks and Queanbeyan probably got too few. They want to run the ball.
And David, your best players for quarter one here in 2016?
Well, clearly Payne for Ainsley kicking the 4 or 5 goals. But I like the work of Reid Stevens and Clowry in that last 10 or 15 minutes of that quarter for Queanbeyan. Jim Rice is also going well in the midfield, so 3-goal lead, but Queanbeyan, they played some good footy in that second half of that quarter.
So there you have it, the Tricolour 6-2-38, Queanbeyan 3-1-19. We'll take a short break and be with all the second quarter action here at Star Trek Oval here in Manuka. Just about ready to go here for the second quarter here at Star Track Oval in Manuka in the AFL Canberra 2016 Grand Final. Glad you could join us through the live stream today. Joining me in the commentary box is the Tuggeranong skipper and Chris Robinson, and of course David Evans, the Giants Academy coach, former Hawks first grade coach, former Eastlake player. Just about to go. It is Ainsley 6-2-38, Queanbeyan 3-1-19. Cade Klemke going straight to the bench. Clowry playing the loose, the spare. Got them back into the contest. So I think the spare back there this quarter, it looks like it is Clowry back there. And we get set for bounce down here. The umpire puts the ball down. It'll be Maynard to do battle with Milne. We'll get the special comments to come in after the bounce. It is Milne who gets first hands to the footy out towards the big-bodied Swan. Has a fresh area at it. Out there towards Wiles. He's won plenty of footy over towards his former housemate in Maiden. Out towards Hurst. Hurst with a quick kick forward down towards that of Sinkovitz. Attacking the footy was Clowry. He's done well since he's moved back there. Out towards Stevens. Stevens puts the hands above the head. Jinks around out towards that of Quaid. Quaid goes forward now towards that of Fruand. I think it is outside there. And they go forward, the Tigers, with possibly their first entry in towards Big Milne, and it was a shocking kick. Put it down towards his bootlaces. He couldn't take that, and it gives the opportunity. Now I think it is Curtis who bounces the ball basketball style inside the back 50. Dilly-dallying around with it, gives an opportunity there, and he's just wrapped up. So inside the forward 50 for the Tigers. 50 seconds gone in the second quarter.
Yeah, interesting here. We watched Timmy Clowry set up spare behind the footy for Queanbeyan. That's good, but it leaves either Damien Bowles, who's a thumping kick of the footy back there for Ainsley, or Ben Maiden, who's a runner and plays the quarterback really well for him as well. So we'll see how that one unfolds.
Still locked inside the Tigers forward 50. And David, how did you see the first quarter?
It was a good first quarter. Obviously, Payne got off the leash to kick his 4 or 5, but yeah, Queanbeyan settled nicely at the back end and of that quarter, and yeah, 3 goals of difference, so they're definitely in this one.
So they need to score first for me to get any sort of impact on the scoreboard. I think it's out towards that of Ross with a quick handball over to Stevens, and they go forward again, and it's punched away from Grocott. 2 defenders quickly got onto Grocott. Can't give him any room to move. Of course, 2 goals to his name as young Matthew Grocott. It'll be a throw in about 35-40 metres from the goal, directly under the scoreboard. That's the electronic scoreboard here at Star Track Oval. Of course, the Giants playing in a preliminary final. Who would have thought that 2 or 3 years ago, playing their home games here at Manuka Oval? The Giants, haven't they come on in leaps and bounds, Chris?
They've been unreal. I'm going to jump on. I hope they go all the way, to be honest. But I don't know, they play exciting footy, and they got the best young talent of the last few years, so you'd expect them to. High-octane midfield, I guess you'd say, with Dylan Shield and Caniglio and co running through there. Tom Scully.
Of course, David, you've been involved in the Giants Academy program for a number of years now. Give us the next cabs off the rank for the Giants.
Probably the one to look at next year would be Jack Powell. He played in the NEFL Premiership team last week and then backed it up with another medal this morning for the Ainsley Rising Stars, so he's definitely one to watch out for. Reid Stevens, who's out here today, he's having a good game so far and had a great year this year, so I'd keep an eye on him as well.
So, of course, Sam Fish has been nominated by 5 clubs as well. Played in the NEFL Grand Final last week. The victorious Giants last week against the Sydney Swans at Blacktown Oval, but it's taken away here, and I think it's going to be taken away by Clowry. Is it again? No, it's in the middle of the ground, and it's the Tigers. They go forward inside the 450 towards Grocott. Couldn't quite hang on to that one. He was pressured there by Delves. And it's taken away by Bowles and Milne, wrapped up by Milne, but Bowles, the stronger body, wins out there, and he gets it towards that of the... just needed to chase a little bit. Sinkovitz is now being mowed down out towards Barry. Barry will go to the favoured left foot. That he does. He puts a little dribble kick down, and it's going to roll over the boundary line for a boundary line throw in. And it is 3 minutes gone. Not a lot of scoreboard impact from both sides here. Middle of the ground. Boundary line throw in. The 2 big men are going to go at it. And Maynard and Milne. He's had a lot of first touches of the footy, but it's just punched away there by Curtis, who was the 3rd man up. Taken away there by the Tigers, and they bring it down towards that of Grocott. Grocott caught behind, wheels around quickly on his left boot, puts it inside the forward 50 with a poor looking kick, and it's just intercepted by Bowles. Bowles gets a quick handball out to the sweeper in Maiden, of course the former Demon. He's now put it across to Hupt. Hupt comes out down towards Lawless. There was some fierce contest there, and he's hurt the Queensland Tigers. Price, I think. Ryan Price, very, very ginger here in centre wing right. I think he's hurt the arm. That'll be a big blow for the Tigers.
He doesn't look good there. Come off, Ross has gone on to replace him, so hopefully it's not too bad and he can get himself back on.
So Milne gets his hands towards it again, out towards that of Swan, out towards Lawless. Lawless out towards Hurst. He puts a little dinky out towards Wiles. Wiles dropped what he should have taken, out towards Sinkovich, out towards the runner Curtis. Curtis, he'll get it out to Payne, unaided. Nick Payne dropped what he probably should have taken. Was some strong contest there by Bryce. It's taken away there by Clowry, and that's a good clearance there from the Tigers' defence as they bring it out across half back now. Out there looking for Klemke. Klemke will be his second touch of the foot. He's got caught high. Should be a free kick. The umpire says no, thank you. I'll have it right on the AFL Canberra logo. 5 minutes gone, 6-2-38 to the Tricolours. Queanbeyan Tigers 3-1-19.
I think, as you expect, this quarter started off with not a lot of scoring. Both teams playing a loose back, and as we watch Reid Stevens and Wilesley running him down, we'll have another ball up. But yeah, slow start scoring-wise. We'll wait and see whose game that suits better.
The Tigers, a few bodies looking a little bit sore out there, David.
Yeah, they're really cracking in, but yeah, hopefully they can just maintain this and keep the standard up, because it's we've stopped the bleeding definitely, and they're just played between the arcs at the moment.
So Slater was met in a heavy tackle. I think the umpire says I'll have it. Back on the AFL logo, Canberra, here at Star Trek Oval in Manuka. Umpire throws it in. It's the two big men to go at it. It's Milne gets first hand to it, out towards that of Slater. Comes out to Page. Page cracks him forward out towards that of Klemke. Klemke, will see how his hamstring holds up here. He was met solidly there by Bowles. Out towards Ross. Has trouble containing the ball. Out towards Maiden. Maiden with a little no-look handball out towards that of Leader. Leader brings it out towards centre wing, and it's a good grab there by Delves, I think it is. Yep, Henry Delves. Delves comes into the middle of the ground looking out there for Barry. Barry takes a good contested mark in spite of the pressure from, I think it was Slater out there. It's out towards Barry. Barry onto that trusty left foot, puts it inside the forward 50, looking for Payne. And of course, Nick Payne, he takes another grab inside the forward 50. In spite of the unwanted attention by Bryce, looks like they've had to revert back to Bryce onto Payne, David.
Yeah, it looks that way, Brett. And weight of possession's been with Queanbeyan for what? We've been going for 7 minutes now. Inside 50s away in front for Queanbeyan, but yeah, Ainsley got the ball in the right man's hand now to hopefully get the scoreboard ticking over for them again.
So shooting for his fifth is Payne, is that right, Chris?
I think that's right. It'll be 5 of 7 goals that Ainsley have kicked here if Payne slots this one. And you wouldn't really bet against him. He hasn't missed one yet, so we'll wait and see.
So there you do. He is human after all, Nick Payne. He's missed that one, and it's the Tricolours putting their first score on the board. 6-3-39, 7 minutes gone to the Queanbeyan Tigers, 3-1-19. 2016 grand final day here at Star Trek Oval, and it's a good mark there to a Grocott. He gets up a little bit gingerly as Sinkovich, the number one for the Tricolours, puts a bit of attention. It goes down the line, comes down towards that of Slater. He takes an uncontested mark. They gain about 20 metres. Where's the next kick? This is the thing that's letting them down. It's the next kick for the Tigers. He goes into the middle of the ground with a poor-looking kick, and it's going to be just a stacks on the mill, and it's taken away here by out towards Ross. Ross tries to get a little no-look handball, and it's cleaned up there by, I think it's Richardson, is it? No, it's not Richardson. It is Teasdale out towards that of Curtis, the run, the speedster in Hurst. Hurst goes down towards that of Salter or Lawless, is it? It was Lawless. No, it is Lawless, and he rebounds like a cat with a quick snap around the body. Ian Lawless, that's not Michael Lawless. That's why he's so deadly inside that forward 50. A very, very, very crafty player.
The ball came in there. Queanbeyan had a 2-on-1, and Mickey Lawless was just quicker to his feet than the two Queanbeyan defenders. And I don't know, if you Bryce you there, maybe you stay down and back your teammate in. or you've got to take the footy, you've got to punch it 40 metres over the fence.
They've got some threats inside that forward 50 with Michael Lawless, with Salter, and of course Payne. Of course Salter gone to full forward now, and I think it is big Ryan Quaid who's now marking that with Payne off the ground, David.
Yeah, it looks that way. I was just looking down at the bench too. Price is still in the hands of the trainers, so a little tape going onto his arm or shoulder, but hopefully we'll see him back.
Back to the middle of the ground. It's the two big men. Of course, Milne's probably shading him for handwork in the middle of the ground, but not to much effect to give the midfielders first use. It's big Milne. He gets his hands to it first, but the Ainsley midfielders are reading it quite well in there. So it's out towards Slater. He tries to get it away, but in spite of some unwanted attention, umpire right in the middle of the ground, and it's trying to not really go anywhere. It's Jimmy Rice, the clearance king for the first quarter. So 4-goal lead to the Tricolours here, going for the three-peat and grand final day 2016. It's out towards Milne, and he gets another hand towards it. He gets another one as he gets tackled to the ground. Hurst gets another quick kick, only as far as the man on the mark. Taken away there again by Rice. He gets it out towards Leder. Leder now puts it inside the forward 50, looking for Salter in front of Quaid, but a good grab there from the experienced Ryan Quaid. Of course, the former skipper from the Tigers had a season away last year, Chris, and back to the fold at Tigerland in season 2016. Out towards Quaid, inside the back 50. Still a very handy footballer is Ryan Quaid, but intercepted there. I think it's Costigan. Costigan puts it inside the forward 50, looking for Salter! Salter dropped it out towards Sinkovich. He gets it on the boot. He was tackled strongly by the Queenman, and the umpire has said, yep, you got tackled, and threw it away. So very good effort there by the Queenman defensive unit.
Yeah, it was very good tackle, and he got rewarded for that. So Queenman definitely is still having a good crack at the game here. Just got to get that scoreboard ticking over.
They put the screws on him, have the Tigers stem the scoring flow, but just need to get a couple going their way as Payne comes back onto the field. He has been troubled by a calf. I do notice there's a big white bandage on the calf, Chris.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he didn't start the game with that one, so that might be an addition to from his spell on the Pine. I think Queanbeyan, if they want to kick a few goals here, they really got to pick up the intensity and the ball speed off half back. Start looking for those short kicks inside, get a handball going, use the runners. They got them back there. They got Clowry and Vidaniger and even Jason Taylor and guys through the middle like that. They really want to take the tempo to Ainsley and not play their game.
There you have it. They need to take the game on if they're going to be. And there's Reid Stevens with a quick hack out of the ground, out towards that Acoustic and out towards Klemke. Klemke now onto the left foot, puts a scrubber kick down towards Grocott, but reading it well and probably under pressure there. He's dropped the ball. Umpires, the crowd appeals for a free kick. The umpire says no way. Out towards that of the Queanbeyan Tigers. He had more time than he really should have done better with that. It was Dean Simpson. He's got the headband on the Simpson, number 21 for the Tigers, and it's going to be Bowles to bring it back in. He'll come out towards Maiden. No, he won't. He goes out there towards, now it'll come out to Maiden. Nelson Foley's had a bit of it in the first quarter and a half, out towards Barry. Barry, half back onto that trusty left foot. Barry out towards Leder. Unaccounted for in the middle of the ground, been mowed down, and it's taken away by Curtis, who's providing plenty of drive, goes inside the forward 50 again, but chopped off there by, I think it was Lancaster out there, and they bring it, and it stayed in. No, the umpire says no, free kick. I think he's signalling free kick there for a throw.
That was a good transition then, as Brett alluded to. Curtis from half back provided that hard running to break the game open there, but unfortunately for Ainsley, they couldn't get that mark inside 50 to have the shot and goal. And now Queanbeyan are doing that same, going back the other way.
And a good Ross mark overhead was Dean Ross. Ross beat two defenders there, and he brings it inside the forward 50, looking for Klemke and Bowles. Got muscled out of it, and it's the sweeper and the mop up in Maiden. Maiden gets a quick kick out of there, looking for his mate in Wiles. Wiles is being pursued by Lancaster. No, it's not Lancaster. Simpson, and the crowd pleads for out of bounds deliberately, and the umpire says no, thank you. About 55 metres from the Tigers' goal. Of course, a very parochial crowd down there, all in the Tigers' colours. A lot from the women's side, and of course the second.
Yeah, it's good to see a lot of support for all the clubs out here. There's a little Queanbeyan corner set up, and then Ainsley set up at the other end. And, yeah, a lot of yelling and noise coming from both, which is good. It's the atmosphere you want at the footy, isn't it?
So Jack Carroll-Tate sees the ball over the line. Need to get a little bit more out of Jack Carroll-Tate, of course, named in the Rising Stars Team of the Year as Carroll-Tate. Big raps on him out there at Tigerland. Milne gets another decisive tap, but not really going to the advantage. Clowry quick over to Grocott, and it's just seen over the line there from the Tricolours' defence. And it is Teasdale. Matthew Teasdale just sees it over the line. The umpire says, I'll just have it on the 50 here at Star Trek Oval. 7-3-45 to the Tricolours, to the Queanbeyan Tigers 3-2. 14 minutes gone in the 2016 AFL Canberra Premiership decider. Right on the 50, the umpire is letting it go. Very slow to put the whistle to the mouth. The leader comes up with the ball. Also coming up off the ground there is, I think it was Teasdale again. So the two big men, a lot of stoppages. Milne out towards Wiles, tackled strongly by Slater, I think it was in the middle there. Yes, it was Slater. He's put a few tackles on today. Umpire not really rewarding the tackle's efforts.
I don't know, in a big game like this, you'd rather see him ball it up again than pay a 50-51 either way. I think that one's fine too. Wiles, he takes possession of the ball, gets tackled straight away, and there's not much you can do with it when you get rattled with a good tackle.
There you go, some tackling pressure, and that is Fruin who made a good tackle there on Maiden, and Fruin gets a free kick as Maiden got tackled over the boundary line, put out of bounds on the full. So the goal sneaking Fruin tries a big barrel from the 50, and I think, I tell you what, it's gone very close, so a good effort there from Fruin.
Yeah, the last couple of minutes, I was just going to allude to Fruin. He's seemed to have lifted his work rate, been good pressure. I'd like to see him at the stoppages though, maybe get on the move a little bit and create a bit of chaos there for the Tricolours backline.
Good mark taken there by Foley. Foley now at half back for the Tricolours. Brings it inside there towards Wiles. Had plenty of the footy. He'll go with the left foot. Wiles polled very well in the Mulrooney last Sunday night. I think he finished third with you, Christopher. Is that correct? I think 9 or 12 votes for Aaron Wiles. And we see the changes ringing in as Salter just gives Ryan Quaid, lets him know I'm around. Traditional rivals, these two clubs played in a lot of premiership deciders over the years in the AFL Canberra, and the former ACTAFL, both very successful in their own right, as towing it through Slater. Slater goes inside there towards that of Swan. Swan with a quick hack out, let her drop what he probably should have taken inside the 50 there. Tried to evade the tackle was Teasdale there. Umpire says no. Reid Stevens hacks the ball forward, and it's Bowles. Klemke Bowles. Good tackle there from Klemke, just pushing off Fruin. And Costigan did very well there, and it's out towards that of Maiden. A solid tackle there, out towards Fruin. Probably should have let Reid Stevens go for the footy and called a throw here. I didn't quite pick up. Did you see that one, David?
Yeah, it was definitely a throw, Brett, and like that forward pressure again from Fruin to bump on Maiden. Yeah, they're definitely up and about here, but that was definitely a throw. So a goal here would be a good reward for effort for the Tigers.
Looks like Nathan Edwards is the recipient of the free kick. Normally a pretty good set shot at goal, but the last time I said that, Payne missed, so we'll have a look at it. And Ryan Price about to come back on. Looks like he's got that elbow heavily strapped.
So Ryan Price, he looks in a little bit of discomfort, so we'll see how he goes. Of course, a menace to the opposition forwards is Ryan Price. He's got a real reputation in the AFL Canberra competition. He leaves nothing in the tank when he crosses that white line, Chris. Raises the ire of many of our opposition player, but he gives his all. As Ryan Price, we'll see how he goes with his arm very heavily strapped. As the Tigers claw one back, they've really done well to stem the flow, David.
They certainly have. So we're back to the quarter time margin of 3 straight goals. A bit of reward for effort there for Queanbeyan, but good game of footy we're seeing unfold here at Manuka.
There was Sinkowitz straight from Maynard out to the middle, out towards that of Leader. Leader out towards Hupt. Just fell off the tackle there. Was the Tigers' defence there. They chased the ball around. They need to get a little bit cleaner in the back half. get a little bit of transition footy going. It was a lot cleaner when Clary was down there controlling the shots. I think he's now moved forward to try and get a goal for the Tigers. Of course, 7-3-45, plays 4-3-27, 19 minutes gone. Out towards that of the Tigers, missing a couple of key players in Palombi. He's out with a back injury, and Tyler Collins needs to be a little bit cleaner with the hands as they hack the ball forward out towards the scoreboard. The big Toyo Tyres giant sign out towards Actu AGL, around 70 metres from the Tigers' goal. Wait for the boundary umpire to throw the ball in. Fair crowd on hand here to witness the 2016 Premiership decider for AFL Canberra. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast wherever you may be. Out towards that, I think of Ross. Ross puts the ball down towards the 50, looking for the last goal scorer. I think it was Edwards, is it, for the Tigers? He was the last goal scorer. They need to get a couple more out of him. And we get another stoppage, really suiting the Tigers, this stoppage game.
Yeah, like I said before the game, I think that's where they can really take it up to Ainsley, is with their physicality, and around the stoppage when they start throwing the body and Ainsley start backing out. And if the footy's not coming as clean as they want it, then it's going to play into Queanbeyan's hands.
For as long as I can remember, it's always been the stoppage game that the Tigers have practiced. They love the stoppages, and it's no different today here. So, grand final day. The Tigers are very, very experienced. Of course, against all the odds, they come out here grand final day in 2015 and knocked off the undefeated Belconnen in what was a miracle grand final.
Just the bench. No, play on. Thought the ball was out. Maiden's got the footy here, just releasing out Ash Harris, so they're away again now. Got some run going here, Ainsley.
Towards Teasdale, he brings out over towards that Acosta, getting with a quick handball over the top to Leder, the bearded Leder, the number 31, he brings it out towards Foley, no, it's not Foley, it's Delves, the boy from Griffith puts us inside the forward 50 to the sharpshooter in Payne, just hangs back, and guess what? Nick Payne, he's missed. So I think that's 5-2 to Nick Payne.
5-2, I think you're pretty spot on there, Davo. Interesting there, Delves' kick sort of came in long to Payne when he had a few options running through the middle. Payne stayed down, let two opponents go up and spoil each other, and took the scraps away.
21 minutes gone here at Star Trek Oval. It is 7-4-46. The Tricolours, Queanbeyan 4-3-27 as we get another boundary line throw in.
Just that quick transition there. We saw again Evo from half back, and Ainsley running with the handball, and Maiden playing the quarterback role, getting a clear run and moving the footy quickly.
Yeah, that's right, Robbo. He's probably came out a lot too. I'm sure the Queanbeyan coaching staff will be thinking it just came out way too easily. Here we go, Queanbeyan going forward, another inside 50. There's no one there for Queanbeyan, and on transition again, here they go down the grandstand side wing.
Looks at Cuzner as he kicks it long. Delves in a one-on-one with James Manny down there. Good contest. Delves back to his feet quickly, and Wilden Haupt takes it away. Good kick out to Mickey Lawless. Strong hands for a medium-sized player, Mickey Lawless. Gets on his left foot, and Payne nearly takes another one in the pocket. Oh. Bit of love being shown in the pocket. Brycey and who was that? Nelson Foley. I can't really see that far down. Here we go, ball up in Ainsley's forward pocket. Milne and Delves in the ruck. Brycey with the overhead handball. Matty Vidaniga and Dan Leder going head to head there. And Dean Ross is going to scrap it out. Get a lucky bounce just inside the boundary line. And he's getting called deliberate, which is interesting given Dean Ross's skills. I don't know if you could ever call him deliberate. Ash Harris to bring it in for Ainsley here. Usually a very good kick of the footy, and no mistake there with a short one to Sinkovitz. Looks like he's going to drive it along inside 50. Looking for Mickey Lawless to cruise through untouched.
I think 3 or 4 would-be defenders, and they all look at each other, the Queanbeyan Tigers defenders, And he set it up there, well, just well executed foot skills. The left foot of Harris onto the left foot of Sinkovich. Out to Lawless. He is another gun inside that forward 50. He's probably one of my favourite players throughout the last 10 years for the Tricolours. An elite footballer is Michael Lawless. Of course, a couple of time best and fairest there in their premiership years as well. He's shooting for his third. Lawless, he has no mistake, puts it straight over the umpire's hat. He kicks the Tricolours 8-4, 54, 52 to Queanbeyan 4-3-27. The game getting away from the Tigers, David.
Yeah, just noticed with that contest there, I think all the Queanbeyan backmen were putting their time and effort into pain, and Lawless pretty much took the uncontested mark and kicked truly. So, yeah, a reward for effort, unfortunately, Queanbeyan didn't get, and Ainslie have taken their chances with the last couple of goals.
So, Chris, while we've got a little bit of a break in play here, season 2016 for the Hawks, and the transition back to AFL Canberra footy in general, particularly for the Tricolours, how did you see it?
Well, I think the results show that obviously Ainslie have been a bit of a step above everyone else, and that happens. They've done a great job of retaining their players. You look at the overall quality, and then you recruit guys like Ben Maiden and Hayden Armstrong, and they just top up that quality across the board. As for us, you'd always like better results or more results to go your way, but I think we played good footy in patches and bad footy in patches, and that's something we'll have to work on into next year.
So obviously the recruitment of Sean Ellis coming back to the Hawks nest, and season 2016 was a very good one. Nearly pulled off the Mole Rooney medal, of course, runner-up to James Bennett last Sunday night with 19 votes. James winning it on 20 votes.
Yeah, Pundy is absolute dynamite, mate. You chuck him in any midfield and he'd get a start. He's explosive, he's got good skills, and I don't know, if you've ever seen him hit the deck, he's back on his feet in a fraction of a second. He's so quick.
Cat-like is probably the call I'd probably make. Very, very quick to his feet, got a very low centre of gravity, but it's Maiden. He slips over out there, and it's just triggered over the line there by Page, I think it is, for Lancaster. Out there, centre wing, underneath the Carlton mid-sign. It is the... So there's a few things being transpired here on social media. It is the Tricolours 8-4-52 to the Queanbeyan Tigers 4-3-27. 26 minutes gone in the second quarter. So they'll have to get a couple before half-time with the Tigers to make a real game of it and set it up for the third quarter. It's out towards Hurst. Hurst at centre wing now. Puts it down there towards that of Curtis. He's been sensational, Simon Curtis. He's had a sensational 2016. Puts that down towards that of Payne. Payne wheels around on that left foot. Gets a quick kick away to Salter. He's been well held by Ryan Quaid. He's been a star, has Ryan Quaid. No, it wasn't Salter. I think that was Wiles down there in the white boots. So boundary line thrown about 25 metres from the Tricolours' goal. The umpire brings it in. It's the big men to do battle. It is Milne with first hands towards it again, but well read there by the Tricolours' small brigade, and there's a quick snap at goal, and I tell you what, it's touched on the line. The umpire says no. It is a goal, so full reward for effort there. I couldn't pick up the goal scorer. I think it was young Nelson Foley, another local junior who's risen through the ranks. Great to see him out there in grand final day for 2016. Of course, the Tricolours looking for a three-peat on grand final day, having won the Rising Stars earlier and also winning the second grade, so could cap off a great day for the Tricolours for their return back to AFL Canberra football after a few seasons in the NEFL competition. And the ball bring back to the middle of the ground. It is the Tricolours 9-4-58, 4-3-27, 28 minutes gone. As Milne, he has battled manfully in the middle of the ground. He goes towards his favour. He gets it down there towards tackle without the ball, and it's again, I think it was Slater out there towards that of Page. Page gets a quick kick out towards Stephen. Steve's tried to the no-look handball. Actually, it's Vardaniger, is it? It is Vardaniger. This numbers have got a lot smaller in the jumpers this season. That 11 is very, very small on Vardaniger. Of course, big raps on Vardaniger. He's had a breakout season in 2016. out there at Tigerland. Maiden with a quick handball away out there, quick kick off the ground, out there towards that of, and it's a free kick. What's the umpire paid here? It's a free kick to Costigan. Tackled when he wasn't in possession of the ball. Wasn't given back to him cleanly. Lucky not to get a 50 against him, but Costigan brings it down the line out towards that of Mill. Mill just swats it away and paddles it over the boundary right in front of the commentary box here. Of course, the Tricolours 9-4-58, Queanbeyan 4-3-27, 29 minutes gone. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast through the live stream from AFL Canberra Grand Final Day 2016. It's out there towards Maiden. Maiden gets it over to Stevens. Stevens hacks it through the air out towards Wiles. Goes to that favoured left foot, puts it onto the Ainsley logo. Taken away now by the Tigers defence out there towards that of Vardenninger, but it's that man again. He'd have to be well up in the contention of the Jezelenko medal, would be Simon Curtis.
Yeah, I agree with that, Brett. He's played a fantastic quarter, transitioning both ways and using the footy pretty well. Wiles in the midfield, Rice in the midfield going well as well for Ainsley. And I still like the Reid Stevens for Queanbeyan's having a good game, as is Quade you alluded to earlier.
Doesn't look real well, is Lancaster, the 48, the Tigers. He is hobbling out there as he chases that ball in Lawless. They might have to look at that one, make a change, and there's the half-time siren. It is the Tricolours, 9-4-58, leading the Queanbeyan Tigers, 4-3-27, 2016 AFL Canberra Grand Final. What have the Tigers got to do, Chris, to get back into the contest and got half a footy for season 2016?
I don't think it's major changes. I think, as we've said before, pick up the tempo, use the footy and try and keep Ainsley away from the footy as much as they can. If they can control it and even chip it around a little bit, they'll go a long way to winning the game, and they've got to convert and keep Ainsley from kicking a few more goals. They leaked a few quick ones there, and Ainsley got back out to a 5-goal lead now.
So, David, what do Ainsley need to do to put the foot onto the jugular?
I think back like they did in the first quarter, just hitting the footy up to that dangerous spot where, Pony took all those marks, and their ball use has been good. I think they just weathered the storm early in that quarter and then ended up with, as a coach to say, those goals in red time you don't want to give up if you're an opposition, and that got them back out in front and a healthy lead. So we'll see what happens in the second half.
So there you have it, the expert analysis from our two co-commentators in Chris Robinson, the Hawks captain, and of course the academy coach David Evans. It is the Tricolours 9-4-58 to the Queanbeyan Tigers 4-3-27, with the Tigers all the work to do in the second half here at Manuka Oval, and we'll bring it to you live through AFL Canberra live streaming. gets set here for the all-important third quarter here in the 2016 AFL Canberra Grand Final. It's the Ainslie Tricolours leading the Queanbeyan Tigers 9-4-58, 4-3-27. We'll go to the special comments in a minute as we go for the bounce down and to start the third quarter underway. It's Milne versus Maynard. Maynard with first hands out towards Wiles. He's been very effective in the centre of the ground today. And guess what? It's out to another star inside the forward 50 in Michael Lawless. Lawless about 48 metres out, and it was Salter cheekily calling for the ball, but I don't think he's going to get it off Lawless as he shoots for his third goal. David, the Tigers, what do they need to do to get back into the contest?
I think just reward for effort, Brett. They've, like at the start of that quarter, that second quarter, they had the ball inside 50 a lot, and they just couldn't get any scoreboard happening. So I think, just run out with the same, the intensity, move the footy, and just got to make their opportunities when they get the ball inside 50 and get some scoreboard happening.
There's a big Milne, gets the ball out towards Swan, out towards the runner Slater, out towards Collins. Been ineffective today is Tyler Collins, and taken away there. Should have been free kick in the back there. The umpire says no, I'll have it. Right in the centre square, about 55 metres from the Queanbeyan goal. Of course, a couple of big shout-outs over to Lee McMahon, listening in from all the way over in Denver, Colorado. So big shout out to former Eastlake Demon in Lethal, former Queensland representative player, ACT representative player. It's out towards the best man on the ground for me, in Simon Curtis. He has a quick ping and just a minor score.
It's not often you see Simo miss a goal like that, especially from inside 50. He's, well, in my opinion, got some of the best skills in the act Afl, and normally makes you pay for those ones.
There you have it. So for me, it is the young guys, the younger brigade that can really lift Queanbeyan. Need to get more out of Jack Tate, need to get more out of Collins, and they need to get more out of the highly rated Vardeniga. Of course, Vardeniga playing in the Canberra Demons program. Reece Stevens has been very good for the Tigers, and it is another shot on goal out here for Henry Delves, the boy from Griffith. He's one that the Canberra Demons should look at in 2017. A very promising hit up forward is Henry Delves. I like the size of Henry Delves, and he presents at the contest as he's going to shoot for his first and possibly his Ainsley's 10th. It is Delves at about 48. Head over the footy. Does he like it off the boot? No, it hasn't got the distance. But I'll tell you what, Scott Sinkovich likes it because he's just taken a grab inside the square. From Langwarren, the number one, polled quite well late in the season in the Mulrooney, did the number one. He's got a bit of a sore knee, carried obviously that right knee. Should have no trouble slotting this through, Robbo.
You wouldn't have thought so, Brett, but funnier things have happened. If I'm Cam Milne there, I'm pretty dirty with my defenders. Sinkovich came from nowhere and got a free jump at the footy while Milne sat under it as the ruckman. And if it was me, I probably would have turned around and blasted a teammate there.
That's not you, but Sinkovich gets first blood for the Tricolours as they kick their 10th and skip away to a 6-goal lead here. 3 minutes gone. It is the Tricolours 10-5-65 to Queanbeyan 4-3-27. They need to get a couple of quick scoreboard pressure on to get this back into a contest, David.
Just noticed they've had 3 or 4 inside 50s already this quarter, Ainsley, and taken probably 3 or 4 contested marks and kicked the goals. So there's a difference right there, which Queanbeyan couldn't do earlier in the game. So bit of work to do here for the Tigers.
Back to the middle of the ground as the umpire puts it down for the big men to go at it. It'll be Milne versus Maynard. Probably Maynard shading him around the ground. Milne's got first hands, but Wiles, yet another clearance out of the centre of the ground there. I'd like to see his stats, and it is a quick mark taken out of there from Vardeniga. Needs to lift a little bit the headband. Vardeniga out there towards another one of the youngsters, and it's Sinkovich. Taken away for the Tricolours. Just dropped the ball. Did Slater. Took his eyes off the ball. It's out there towards Maiden, the former Demon. Of course, his father, a son of a gun for the Manuka Western Club in Robert Maiden. Out towards Sinkovich. He comes inboard to Wiles in the middle of the ground. Wiles wheels around onto the left foot. He gets his little dinky left out there towards Lawless. He's been very good inside 50. Lawless out towards Rice. Started the game in blazing fashion. Out there towards the lead up of Barry. They're just playing with them now, the Tricolours. Barry in front of Collins. Puts it out there towards that of Delves, I think it was. Yep, and he's hurt his ankle as Delves out towards Collins. He has a quick look, tries to draw the player in Barry, and has no luck and just puts it out of bounds. And it'll be a boundary line throw in about 65 metres from the Tricolours' goal. 5 minutes gone here, 2016 AFL Canberra Grand Final. It is the Tricolours comfortable, looking of course for the three-peat, winning the Rising Stars earlier in the day. It's Milne who hacks it out only as far as Hurst. Hurst in towards Barry, out towards that of Costigan, who trails the ball in, tackled and met solidly there by Swan. So I think you're going to have to throw caution to the wind. You're going to have to move Bryce closer up onto the footy. I think they've got Payne under control down there, and they're going to have to play and put some of these more experienced players, the Tigers, if they're going to get into the game. And then Cade Klimke's just going to go out there and have to run himself into the ground. And it's out towards Sinkowitz, of course, the last goal scorer, the boy from Langwarrin, the number one for the Tricolours, onto that left boot. It goes in there towards that of Payne, but it's just chopped off by Bryce. Redwell in the air. Joshua Bryce brings it out towards that of Price, showing no ill effects of the arm, holding it down a little bit. Ryan Price out there towards that of out there towards Clowry, but a good mark there taken by Bowles. The stronger bodied Bowles brings it inboard towards Rice. Rice in front of Grocott as they chip the ball around to keep possession with the Tricolours. He brings it in towards Sinkowitz, about his fourth touch in about 3 minutes, as they look to build momentum going forward. Sinkowitz onto that left, goes down there towards Barry, tries to tap the ball inside, forward 50, punches it towards that of Hurst. Barry gets the ball out towards Rambo. Lawless out towards Salter, been well held today, Salter, but gets a quick kick, probably gains 55-60 metres out towards Payne, punched away by Bryce, only as far as, I think it was Harris, the captain, slung to the ground in a swing tackle, out there towards Lawless, got it out, and it's taken and intercepted there by Tyler Collins.
Just, I think the endeavour is noticeable here. There's a 3-on-2 Queanbeyan's way there inside that defensive 50, and Ainsley still won the contest. So the effort looks like it's a bit more there for Ainsley at the moment than it is for Queanbeyan.
So there you have it, and they bring it in towards the middle of the ground. It's out towards Rice, who started the third quarter like he did in the first, on fire. Out there unchecked is Ruben Hupt. Now swings onto the right boot, doesn't know really what to do with it. Goes back towards Rice with the left foot. Out there towards that of Kuzma, who started the game in blazing style. Out there towards Ian Lawless, who takes a sliding mark. Of course, the former captain in Ian Lawless. Is he still the skipper of... but no, Ash Harris has preceded him.
I was going to say, if I was a defender there, I'm looking for anyone running behind him or anyone leading out, because Rambo's not going to kick it 45. Even with a 40k win behind him.
And there you have it. The bloke that's most likely to get it was Bowles, and he got it and he put it right down there. It's the Tricolours. A 6-goal game here at Star Trek Oval here in Manuka, of course. Next weekend shapes as a big contest for the nation's capital, the Giants, playing in a preliminary final for an opportunity to go into an AFL Grand Final. Yep, that's right, an AFL Grand Final, probably in their 5th or 6th year of the competition. An amazing effort. Of course, the Giants playing 3 or 4 home games here in the nation's capital, and it's a fantastic achievement. Of course, a couple of youngsters from the nation's capital on their list. What can we expect from them? Of course, Jack Steele out for season 2016. Will he stay a Giant, or will he go somewhere else and further his career? But it's back here, and it's out there towards that of I think it was Foley, who scrapped well on the ground, out towards the experience of Fruin there, going down towards Dean Ross with a little kick towards that of Slater as they chipped it inside the forward 50. Slater will have a shot about 35 metres on a slight angle for the Tigers.
Prediction here is it's going to be ugly. It might go through, but I'm not expecting a lot of spin from Slats. Normally really reliable with that.
There you have it from expert opposition analysis. The coach of the Tuggeranong Hawks, Chris Robinson, and he's passed it off to the more reliable shot in Ryan Quaid. I'd probably back him in here, Robbo.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Davo. Quaid's pretty good with the hands, pretty good with the feet. I think this one won't have the umpire moving much. We'll see how it goes.
Of course, the former Swans rookie listed player in Ryan Quaid, he's given that a bit of too much of a hook, those old legs, and it's still in play. It's taken away there by, I think it's Teasdale there, takes it away, or it was, and it's only as good as far as Grocott. Grocott will swing around under that left foot, that he does. He comes out here towards Deniger, is it, or Carroll Tate, Simpson it is. Simpson comes inboard as the Tigers in the middle of the ground as they play around with the footy, and it goes in towards that of, is it Dean Ross there? The 37 goes out towards a 4-on-1. He had no hope there as the Tigers. Oh, he's done well as Fruin there inside the forward 50. And has he nailed the kick? Yes, he has. That's a great goal by the goal sneaking Fruin.
Yeah, great job by Fruin there. The by the numbers or the way the possession inside that 50, they finally got that goal that they needed. So back to a 5-goal game. Still work ahead of them, but that's a good start for them, for the Tigers.
The Tigers, they really need to get back-to-back goals here to mount a challenge here in the third quarter. Where can you see their next goal coming from, Chris?
I think they would keep using that run. They used the short options there. Ainsley sagged back trying to fill the space, and they kept using the lead up. Then they turn and burn. You get to that 50, you get the quick kick inside and creates a chance.
Just got to keep pumping the ball forward and play a bit of chaos ball. I see Klemke's gone forward, back onto Bowles, but it's in the middle of the ground as the two big men go at it again. It is Milne who gets first hands to it again. Out to Sol. He'll drive this long. Don't worry about that. It's out towards that of Lawless. Lawless looking inside the 50 for that of Payne. It was well taken away by Quaid. Quaid with a quick kick out of the ball, out of the area, and it comes only as far as that, towards that of Jack Carroll Tape. He really needed to get on the bike there, out towards Clary. They've swung him around a bit today. He seems to be there. Mr. Fix-It does Tim Clary, and it comes out along the ground out towards the scoreboard. It is taken a bit high. The umpire says play on, out of bounds. We'll have a boundary line thrown about 70 metres from the Tricolours' goal here in the third quarter. AFL Canberra Premiership season. Premiership decided. The Tricolours going for a three-peat here on grand final day. They lead comfortably by 5 goals. Really never been headed all day. So a blistering start by Nick Payne. But your best player on the ground today, Chris?
It's hard to split. There's been a few. I think the work of their half-backs and Cuzner and Teasdale's been really good as they work it around again. Wilesey's had a lot of it, 1-2s, and he uses his skills to good effect as well. If I had to pick one, it's probably be Wilesey, actually.
There you have it, of course, the best player on the ground. The judge today plays for the Alex Jezelenko medal, quite a prestigious medal. Wiles polled very well in the Mulrooney last Sunday with 12 votes. I think he was the fourth runner-up. But for David, your best player on the ground at the moment?
Simon Curtis has been solid for him, but I've been watching Ricey, and the job he's doing on Swan has been exceptional too. And he's using the footy very well this quarter, but I think Curtis for mine, Brett.
So there you have it there, the two early picks for the Alex Jezelenko medal. I'd like to think if Nick Payne gets a couple, he'll be right up there. So Ryan Quaid's had an outstanding day on Nick Salter too. Of course, that's Ryan Price there with the went down, and that's a good tackle there laid on and the umpire says I'll have it. Very lucky there was Jeremy Hurst. A great tackle laid on there from Mitchell Price, the brother of Ryan Price. The umpire throws it up at his Maynard, who gets first hands to it only as far as Fruin. He gets met solidly by a couple of Ainsley defenders out there towards that of was Ross getting his head over the footy. You don't mind putting his head over the footy out towards Sinkowitz on that left foot, comes in there towards that of, I think it's Jason Taylor, the 36, out towards Vardaniger, is it? Vardaniger now goes further across field out towards Bryce, needs to get on his scooter as Bryce, as they throw caution into the wind, they come through the middle of the ground, only as far as Jack Carroll Tate. Tate holds the ball up in the middle of the ground, a little bit too slow going forward. Another one of their gun youngsters, so falling to the ground, and here comes Vardaniger, or was it Simpson? Vardaniger, they look alike, both with a long flowing hair and a headbands. Must be the new trend out there across the border as they come in towards there, and I think it's Nelson Foley out there. No, it's the 18 in the Sprigs Jeremy Hurst. He takes a few seconds off the clock. 14 minutes gone here at Star Track Oval. It's the Tricolours leading comfortably by 32 points, and it is the bringing it through the middle of the ground in towards that of Jack Carroll Tate. Tate brings it into the middle of the ground, puts a long bomb up there, haven't got a lot of tall forwards. It's going to be 2-on-1, gives the Ainsley defenders a chance to take it away, and a good tackle there by Leader, and he's been rewarded with a fantastic tackle, Daniel Leader, David.
Yeah, it was a great tackle. I'd like to see the Queanbeyan forwards lead up at the football a bit more. The last two entries have been long bombs, and they're getting a bit predictable with that, so Yeah, you want that long option, but also if a few lead-up forwards will just mix it up and lower the eyes a bit, they might score that way.
There you have it. They've just been long bombing it. There's no real forward that's threatening to impose himself for the Queanbeyan Tigers, but it's the ever-reliable Rambo. He's a fantastic footballer, is Rambo. Out to the run of Hurst. Hurst with a quick handball over there to Leader. Leader finds the run at Sinkowitz, and they are about 45, 46 metres from goal. Sinkowitz sees the run of Salter. He won't drop this. Oh, yes, he was well done there by the youngster in, I think it was Mark Daniger, I think the number 11, or was it Simpson? They both look alike. I'm getting told it was Simpson. Yes, it was Simpson, so well done to Simpson on Salter there. He put his head over the footy. There'll be a boundary line thrown about 70 metres from the Tricolours' goal. The two big men to go at it again. So it is Hutt to do battle. Third man up was Swan, left Rice unattended. He puts the ball down towards Salter, and it's out towards Bryson. It clean bowls him, the two number 5s. Salter just lets him know he's around. Another goal would make it interesting, Chris.
Yeah, I think the next goal either way is going to be pretty interesting. If Queanbeyan get it, you could see a momentum shift. If Ainsley get it, you might see a couple of heads drop on the other side. We'll have to wait and see.
So it could make it a 4-goal game. They need to get back-to-back goals, the Queanbeyan Tigers, if they're going to mount a challenge in the last quarter. 16 minutes gone. It is 10-5-65. Queanbeyan Tigers 5-3-33. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. Streaming live through Afl Canberra, the season 2016 Premiership decider. A big shout out to all those listening into the live stream. Hope you're enjoying the special comments from the Tuggeranong Hawks captain in Chris Robinson, and of course David Evans, the Giants Academy coach, the season 2016. As it's played away, and it's taken by, I think it was Curtis again, out there towards that of Lawless. He was thrown off the footy, and it's a throw. The umpire's adjudged a throw. Lucky there for the Queanbeyan defenders, and a free kick down there to, I think it's down there to Jason Taylor, out towards Fruin. Looks like he's playing a bit of a sweeper behind the ball, out towards that of Simpson. Simpson gets it out further afield, out towards, I think it was Page, to the run of Fruin again. Fruin in the middle of the centre wing here, puts a hack ball down there towards the run of little Mosquito Fleet and Page, but it beats all comers, and it'll be a boundary line throwing about 55, 60 metres from the Queanbeyan goal. Of course, they're kicking towards the Manuka end, and the Tricolours kicking down towards the Manuka pool end. Ball's thrown in, it's Swan. He gets a double-handed swat out towards that of Reed Stevens, but only as far as Maiden. Maiden hacks it out of the air fortuitously for Hurst. Hurst now with the ball in hand. He gets to the run of Letter. He's been good today too. Dan Letter, the number 31 for the Tricolours, not so good with the handball. Put Curtis under pressure there. Curtis tries to take two of them, but he gets it as far as Leader. Leader out towards that of Hurst, and they get locked up there by the Queanbeyan defenders. The ball not really going anywhere, but next goal vital for the Queanbeyan Tigers if they're going to mount a challenge. Nearly time for Cade Klink to go back up on the ball, I think, David.
Yeah, they certainly need to do something. It's a bit of a stalemate, play between the two 50s. And Ainsley just seemed to be getting the ball out of their back line quite easily. A bit more forward pressure maybe, but a bit of a stalemate at the moment.
Of course, there's a well-known runner out there looking a little bit like they've been in a good paddock. The number 1 for the Tricolours. Who's the runner for the Tricolour?
That would be Andrew Toy, Brett. He looks really good in pink, especially matched with the fluorescent green boots.
Of course, Andrew, the former top umpire in the ACT, just coming back from a long overseas European holiday. Great to see him still involved in the game. He was a flamboyant character in his day, was Andrew Toy, and still involved with the running, and of course his boys playing an active role here in AFL Canberra. Out there towards that of, I think it's the Tricolours, and it's all in the back there was Simpson, but the umpire said play on, and no, he's called holding the ball. So there you go, no attempt really being made, and it's going to be a free kick to Simpson. Simpson right on the 50, down in the defensive end for the Tigers. He brings it up towards that of Maynard, didn't really take it, but it's out to the numbers here. I think it's Carroll Tape, is it? Yeah, it's Carroll Tapiel. Let's see what he can do with it. He runs it inside, straightens up the angle, puts it down there towards Cade Klemke, but only as far as the behind post. Didn't really go at him, did he, Klemke, to give him something to really kick at, David?
That's what I was talking about before, but the lead up to the ball carrier makes it an easier kick, or he would have freed up the goal square to go over the top. So, I think the captain or the coach could have just did that little lead up, 15-metre kick, and it probably would have been a goal for the Tigers.
You're probably seeing how fit he really is, not really wanting to test that hamstring. It's out there towards Barry, but punched over the line. They've done well to stay in the contest, I think, the Queanbeyan. You know they're always going to do that, but have they got enough guns to win the game, Chris?
Well, I think that if they can get some contribution from guys who haven't been that great yet, you look at if they can get Brycey running out of defence and making Payne accountable for him, that sort of puts a dent in Payne's tank and takes him out of the game a little bit. Frui's been really good this quarter. As we see him load up a barrel inside, Cade should do the team thing and block this and went for the mark.
Been outstanding up there has Bowles, the bigger body. Now he just goes quickly across there. Ooh, and Chris Barry doesn't let him down. He's been quite good today for the Tricolours as well. He brings it across towards Bowles. Bowles will bring it long down the line. He hasn't really got a lot to go to. He goes towards that of Maiden. Maiden drops what he should have taken, puts himself under pressure, and Milne takes him on. Goes further afield across to that of Barry. Barry now, the left footer for the Tricolours. 21 minutes gone in this ever crucial third quarter. Next goal scorer for Queanbeyan. They really need to find one. Maiden is just, as he's done all day, mopped across that back 50 out there towards that of, and it's dropped what he should have taken, but a good tackle out there, and it's taken out there by the Tricolours, and it's just swatted over the line there by Kuzna and Reid Stevens, and we'll get a boundary line throw in about 80 metres from the Tigers' goal. 21 minutes gone. It's a 5-goal game. 30 points is the margin. Not insurmountable by any stretch of the imagination, but they'd really have to get the next one to mount a serious challenge with the Tigers, as it's not really coming out of there, and it goes out there towards that of Klemke as the crowd starts to chant all sorts of things. I can't really hear what they're saying, Chris.
You and me both, Davo. Could just be white noise for all we know. Might be not actually using their words.
White noise. I thought that's what you played in cafes when you were here, not listening to music. But there you have it, white noise. So something coming up, isn't it? Spilt milk coming up soon, Chris? Is that why you're looking so buffed at the moment? Anyway, free kick. What's the umpire paid here? It'll be a free kick going out there to, I think, is it Carroll Tate or Vardaniga? One of the two, one of the long-haired brothers. I think it was Vardaniga, and he's put a nice one to the top of the square there. Damien Bowles, and it's going to be a umpire paid here. They're looking at each other. I'm not quite sure, David.
The umpire from the middle of the ground's called a holding free kick going to the Queanbeyan ruckman. Slight angle, only about 5 metres out, so this should be a goal for the Tigers.
It should be. We won't put the glasses down yet, but Milne, the ruckman, taps off a good day with a goal there to bring it within 4. So can they mount a challenge and maybe get a sneaky last one? They've done really well to just hang in there. They just got to find the game breaker as Ross comes back onto the ground. Next clearance, very critical for the Tigers. Bring it back to 3 straight kicks. So 23 minutes gone, 10-5-65, plays 6-5-41. The Tricolours just clawing away back into it, Robbo.
Yeah, and they've got a pretty good midfield in there to win the next clearance with Dan Ross and Reid Stevens and Big Swanee in there as well as Cam Milne. But it'll be interesting to see. Ainsley have done the same. They've got Wilesy and they've got Saltz and they've got Simon Curtis in there. So this clearance could go either way.
As we see Klemke come to the bench.
So 23 minute mark. This is in the second quarter where Queanbeyan let Ainsley off the leash and kick some goals in red time. So clearly Queanbeyan want to make sure that it doesn't happen again this quarter.
So Alex Page with a great tackle there on Bowles, and it's going out towards that of Fruin. He's got a chance to go towards the goals. He loads up from 50, does Brett Fruin, and what's the result there? It's hit the post, so unlucky. Geez, they really needed that one to mount a challenge. I think half the crowd wanted to see that one go through, as Bowles is going to bring it. He'll bring this one right down the middle of the ground. You mark my words, he won't go short with this one, Damien Bowles. He's going to go wide and long. That he does. He brings it about 65 metres down the middle of the ground, down towards Sinkowitz. He doesn't let him down. So the number one for the tricolour, Sinkowitz onto that left boot to the lead there of Delves. And it's taken in the air, so that was a good grab there taken by the Tigers' defence as they bring it out towards that of Carroll Tape. He's really come alive. So those guys we spoke about in Vardeniga, Carroll Tape, and to a lesser extent Collins, have made a bit of an impact in this third quarter. So it's the young kids making an impact, and it's just tackle without the ball was Reed Stevens. The umpire says play on, as there is about 20 or 30 players around the ball. And the umpire says, no, I'll have it about 20 metres from the Queanbeyan goal, Chris.
Did you get down to the change rooms at half time and have a chat to them, Davo? Circled 3 or 4 blokes and they've all had a bit of impact this quarter, so they can get everyone up and about and keep using the footy the way they're going. They seem to lock down Ainsley's forwards pretty well for now and stop their run on. They just need to kick a few more goals and they'll be right back in it. Momentum's sort of shifting.
There you have it, the momentum shifting. I think the momentum will shift a little bit more if we get Bryce up closer to the footy. Of course, those 3 young blokes, highly rated youngsters for the Queanbeyan Tigers, in Carroll Tape, in Tyler Collins, and of course Matt Vardeniga. Very, very highly rated juniors out of their program, so fantastic to see them having an impact here on Grand Final Day 2016. Hope you're enjoying the coverage through AFL Canberra live streaming. 25 minutes gone. It is 10-5-65 to the Ainsley Tricolours, 6-6-42 to the Queanbeyan Tigers. One thing's for sure, you know the Tigers won't give up without a fight, as it's brought out through, I think it was Salter, who's now gone back behind the footy out towards Delves, out towards Costigan. Costigan goes further afield to Barry, and they're loose, and it's going to come across here to Kuzna. Kuzna, he's run all the way back. He started this first quarter with blazing glory, and it's out towards that of Payne. And Payne has taken a great mark, falling to the ground, and remonstration there from Bryce. He is a star, Nick Payne.
What great ball movement that was from Ainsley. The stoppage inside 50. Transitioned all the way through to the Ainsley's hotspot. Payne's taken a great mark. Soren's gone. Certain goal here.
Payne shooting for 6. That's a nail in the coffin to the Tricolours, and I think he knows it. So Bryce didn't like that. They're going to have to throw caution to the wind. So they'll go to 11-5-71 to Queanbeyan 6-6-42. Big last quarter coming up here at Star Trek Oval in Manuka, Chris.
Yeah, definitely. You don't rule out anything in footy, but it's going to take a big effort from Queanbeyan to get themselves back in here. 5 goals in 1 quarter, and they've got to keep Ainsley pretty much scoreless. You're going to have to throw it all in, go flat out.
There's no point losing by a bare margin. You may as well throw a caution to the wind. I think they need to release Bryce, get him up around the footy, and also maybe throw a couple of the big blokes that can clunk something a bit forward. I'd probably maybe look at rucking one of these taller blokes. Grocott needs to do a little bit more this quarter. Really throw caution in the wind if I was the Queanbeyan Tigers coaching staff. But as I said, the Tricolours looking for a three-peat today in 2016. It is 11-5-71 to Queanbeyan 6-6-42. We'll have all the last quarter action through AFL Canberra very shortly. Here we go, last quarter AFL Canberra 2016 Premiership decided between Ainsley and Queanbeyan, the arch rivals. The Tricolours stealing a late goal there. It was one in, one bounce was the word coming up from the boundary line. But anyway, it's the Tricolours leading 11-5-71, 6-6-42. The Tigers, Robbo, how do they win it?
Got to go hard at it, win the footy, use the footy, and play fast.
There you go, hold no prisoners. David, the Tigers, how do they get back into the contest in this last quarter for season 2016?
Yeah, I agree with Robbo. They've just got to get the ball in the middle of the ground, take risks. There's no point sort of hanging on to possession too much because they need to kick goals clearly to win the game of footy. So, yep, take some risks, I reckon.
There you have it, is Milne versus Maynard in the middle, out towards the skipper and Harris. He gets a little handball over the back of the neck there, a quick kick out, and it's taken away by Swan. Quickly onto the boot there, out towards the runner Page and Vardaniga. So what's Page going to do that can create a 2-on-1? It is Page going towards Vardaniga. He ran down well there, but the kick missed him, and it really needed to find him there. So Alex Page really needed to do better with that. So, and that's the other thing, is the Queanbeyan Tigers' foot skills have really let them down today, whereas Ainsley have been a lot better with the feet and the hands. And you keep the ball away from the opposition, you've got more chance of winning the game. Boundary line throw in, and it's a quick kick out there by Ross out towards Collins. He's sort of lifted his work rate and puts his head over the footy. Quick cack out of there by Swan. Swan only as far as Kuzna, out there towards that of Vardaniga. Vardaniga fighting hard. Is it? No, it's Reid Stevens there, pushed forward. Oh no, here we go. Reid Stevens, the brother of Crane, has pulled out a miracle goal with a check side on the left, on the right side, and he gives Queanbeyan first blood for the last quarter here at Star Track Oval in Manuka.
Great goal from Reid, and from that stoppage was just a quick hack forward. Reid got his hands on it and check side and goal. So, yep, quick movement of the footy, got the reward.
There you have it. They've thrown Reid Stevens forward, so a little bit of zip around the forward line there, Chris.
He's probably been kicking those ones since he's about 3 years old down the oval with his brothers, Davo. Picked it up, took a couple of steps, steadied up, and didn't even think about anything else.
I'd say they've been playing up the hallway, going through their doors there. Of course, the Stevens household synonymous in Queanbeyan and AFL circles in Canberra, but it's their free kick should have been paid to Milne there, but it's only as far as Salter, who's gone to the middle of the ground. They're hanging on gamely of the Tigers as they tried to get the ball out through that of Price. He collected, and the umpire said yes, it's a free kick to the Queanbeyan Tigers, and Dean Ross, he puts his head over the footy. Does Dean Ross? No, it's not. It's going to Ryan Price, is it? No. I think it's young Taylor. He's had a workman-like game on the back flank there, out towards that of Ross, and he hangs the ball in front of Salter. So that's a good grab there from Dean Ross. He'll go long down the line onto the logos. Keep it on the logos. That he does. Who's he looking for? And it's a good grab there taken by the Tigers in Nathan Edwards. Scored the solitary goal this afternoon. Edwards needs to go further. This is the next kick that they have to find. Edwards goes further afield, goes only as far as Ash Harris. Should have done a lot better with that, was Nathan Edwards. And the skipper for the Tricolours in, he finds his mate in Wiles. He's been close to the best on the ground. Wiles goes with a handball across to another guy who's right up there in contention in Curtis for the Jezelenko medal, and he finds another star in Salter. So can the Tricolours mount something from this? And he's gone across to Costigan, who's ran on. Costigan's going to have a shot onside the 50, and he puts it and he sprays it, and it just trickles through for a minor score.
I think the work of Ash Harris today has gone a bit unnoticed, playing across half back as opposed to in the middle where he normally does, but I don't think he's done a thing wrong and uses his skills well and pops up exactly when they need him to.
That was a poor kick out there from the Tigers. They do a bit of showboating as Barry puts a backhander over the back there as they go in towards that of Bryce, and Bryce takes a strong mark in front of Lawless, and he brings it out further afield, and I think it goes out there towards that of it's Mitchell Price, the younger brother of Ryan. Price comes down the line looking for a grab. It's going to be Clary, who's gone really out of the game, out towards Fruand. I think it was Fruand or Page. only as far as Curtis again. Maiden dropped what he should have taken. Out there towards Sinkowitz, and he avoids the would-be tackler, goes onto that left boot. Out towards Wiles, another left footer. And Wiles racking up possessions at will. Aaron Wiles, the former Eastlake Demon, could get some just reward here. He'll be playing in possibly a premiership. And that's a good grab there to Delves. The boy from Griffith puts it inside the 50. Guess who? Another star. If it's not Payne, if it's not Lawless, it's Salter.
There's that lead up we were talking about earlier. Lower the eyes, just lead up to it's one of the easiest kicks in the game. That 20-metre kick, Salter probably will goal.
Yeah, certainly a superstar forward line of the tricolours. You'd like to... You'd be licking your lips if you're a midfielder kicking into those ones. I don't know if he likes it off the boot. Salter, no, he didn't, and he misses. And a minor score, so 11-8-74, 7-6-48. 5 minutes gone here as the lights come on, and a sprinkling of rain coming down here at Star Trek Oval in Manuka.
It won't be a costly miss from Salter, I don't think, but that would have been a good goal, good reward for effort for for Ainsley, just to keep that gap back to the three-quarter time margin, but kept Queanbeyan in it potentially.
Yeah, they really need to get some breakaways from the contest to the Queanbeyan Tigers. They don't have a lot of leg speed around the contest group.
No, it looks like they've got most of their runners across half back or half forward, not around the midfield. They're going more for more of a grunt midfield, which helps. You get that quick clearance and you've got the runners you're kicking to, as we watch Vidaniga take this one away. And he's going to go short to Nate Edwards. Pushing hard forward. Got Matty Grocott in a one-on-one. Not a bad bet. Well spoiled though. And Richardson's going to bring it away for Ainsley. And Mickey Lawless will take an easy mark. Got Barry on further down the field by himself.
As Chris Berry racks up yet another possession, goes in towards Wiles, who'd probably be the leading possession getter on the field. He wheels around on that left foot. He goes to the mate in Maiden. Maiden inside the nut, wearing the synonymous number 14. Goes with a check side, gets plenty of purchase on it, puts it up in the air, and it's only as far as Payne. Payne out towards Delves. Delves got reefed off the ball when not in possession. Out towards Sinkowitz, and Sinkowitz misses with a quick kick off the left. So they're peppering the goals. It won't be long before the floodgates open, I don't think, Chris.
Yeah, it looks that way at the moment, Davo. They're just bringing the footy down pretty easily, finding a lot of space. Scotty Sinkowitz going for his third goal there, I think. He's probably an outside chance for the medal. He's racked him up across half forward.
You can see why he's an umpire's favourite. He does all the flashy things and he works pretty hard, does Sinkowitz. Of course, quite well in the Mulrooney medal last Sunday. James Bennett, of course, congratulations to him. Now a two-time Mulrooney medalist, joins a couple of the greats in our local game here in the nation's capital. But it's brought in there, and that's a good grab there from Clowry. He's faded out of the game, and it's 50. The umpire said 50. You've gone across the mark, so they've got to get a move on here, and it goes towards Clowry, who gets a 50-metre penalty, Dave.
Yeah, put the footy back into the corridor, which was good to see, but the Ainsley man on the mark crept across it and got that 50. So here they go, just football down the middle of the ground. He shanked that kick. And play on now.
So Taylor he's pulled a free kick against Sinkowitz on, I think it's Tyler Collins out there, and he gets a chance to make a name for himself as young Tyler Collins. Had a checkered couple of seasons, in and out, played a few in the NEFL program for the Eastlake Demons last year. This season gone back and consolidated his senior football with the Queanbeyan Tigers, Chris.
Yeah, he's had a pretty good year, Colo. Pretty handy half forward, gets to the right spots and often pops up with a chance for a goal. This one's going to fall short though.
That it did, and it's just punched away through bowls. Of course, David, you've had a fair bit to do with young Tyler Collins through the academy programs.
Yeah, Colo was in the program last year as an overager. He had a fantastic pre-season. I think it was probably in February, late February, early March, he hurt his knee. Unfortunately, missed out on national selection, Ram selection, and yeah, that's been folded back into Queanbeyan. So he had a great pre-season last year and was very fit. He's a nice young fella.
Yeah, you saw it. Bryce got a free kick for a legal contest there, and he takes it away out there towards that of Simpson. Simpson brings it out further afield out towards Slater. Slater is on, got Vardaniga in the middle, brings it in towards Vardaniga. Despite the attention there, it comes in towards Collins. Collins gets the arms up high, out towards Simpson again. He's been quite good off half-back for the Tigers. They bring it forward, and who reads it best? It is Clowry. He's going to keep at it. There's Clowry, and he gives a quick handball across the Greycat. He kicks his third. There's still some fight left in the Tigers. Don't write them off yet. They are a champion club. That's why they've got pennants all over the walls as you go out there across the border to Tigerland. As we see Mick Lawless coming off, that's a big blow in the hands of the Ainsley trainer in the Big Easy, Terry Lay.
There's that quick ball movement again. Quick hands through the middle of the ground. Quick kick inside 50. Cardick for the Tricolours back line, and then a goal to the Tigers. 3 goals in it.
3 goals in it, and there's Milne who's gone forward, Swan into the ruck, so they've got a little bit fleet-footed into the middle of the ground. Of course, Leder, and I think it's Hupp, is it in the middle of the ground, or Delves are rucking for the Tricolours, so they've changed it up. It is Swan to do battle with Delves, and it is favouring Delves. He gets his hand to it first, out towards Harris, has gone into the middle of the ground. He's brought to the ground in a solid tackle there. Jason Taylor, he's lifted his work rate. He's been quite solid across half-back today, Chris.
Yeah, it hasn't been a bad game for JT. He's one of those second-string midfielders. He's hard at it and got pretty good leg speed and skills too.
Should have been a free kick, but anyway, play on, says the umpire, as they get it out there. He's out towards Slater, punched away by Maiden, did the right thing, did the team thing. Taken away there by Slater again, out towards Page. He wheels around on the right foot to Zal Page. Page puts it out to the run of Slater. He's got the number 12 out there for the Tricolours. Max Richardson, of course, his father, a gun footballer, won plenty of premierships with the Ainsley Tricolours. In Michael Richardson, he was the premier ruckman in the AFL Canberra competition some 15, 16 years ago. Great to see them continuing on the family tradition. Sinkowitz goes forward out there towards that of, I think it was Payne. Payne, they bring it inside the leader. He's been a very good leader. He's out towards Payne. It's that man, Nick Payne. He just has this uncanny ability to get separation between himself and the defender. Nick Payne is out now. He doesn't look much of a footballer these days, but he is a sensational footballer inside that forward 50.
He's a really hard matchup. He's really strong in the body, but he's really quick off the mark as well. You know, he's always going to wheel around on that left, but he can kick it a good 55 metres too on the move. So.
He's missed it, so the pressure has got to him. It's still a 4-goal game. It is 11-10-76, 12-minute mark. The Tigers trail 8-7-55, David. That's one we probably would have marked down for him. And there's a poor kick out there from Bryce, out to the speedster in Hurst. He goes over there towards Delves. Delves comes inside towards Hupp. Hupp takes it safely on the chest. He gives a quick handball over towards Payne. Payne loads up from 50, Nick Payne, and he's had 2 shots in 2 minutes, and he's missed both of them, David.
Well, we wouldn't have predicted that first one. I think he just leant back on that. But yeah, the pressure's really on the Queanbeyan back line now. Probably kept a minute, Payne missing those couple there.
So brought in there by Quay. They're going in experienced hands out to the captain and the skipper in Swan. Swan brings a long kick here, looking down there for Milne. Milne, it's a good diving mark. They've used the tall timber. Umpire says no, play on, not taken. And a good tackle out there by Sinkowitz. The umpire says play on. Ball still in dispute, but now it's rushed over there in front of the scoreboard here at Star Trek Oval in Manuka, of course. Big weekend for all AFL followers. The Giants playing at Spotless Stadium were a chance to go into the grand final. Of course, a lot of Canberrans members of the Giants in what's been a meteoric rise for the GWS Giants. Good luck to them against the rampant Western Bulldogs who knocked out the 3-time Premier and the Hawks last night in the AFL. Of course, the other side, the Sydney Swans taking on Adelaide. Who's your tip in that one, Robbo?
I actually went against my theory that contested teams, the better contested teams win finals, and I tipped Adelaide tonight.
David?
think Sydney will bounce back after last week.
There you go. I tip Adelaide for the flag, so I think they can actually win the flag, the Crows. So there you go. They've got a good track record. But back here at Star Trek Oval, it's out towards, I think it was Reed Stevens who's been a menace down there, out towards Page, who got a quick kick on the left. Alex Page had him in a rep side a couple of years ago. He was identified early, and he's come on in leaps and bounds to play in a senior grand final. Here, AFL Grand Final Day, Canberra 2016. It's the Tricolours looking for their third win of the day. Of course, earlier getting up in the Rising Stars, and of course backing it up in the seconds. They've had a most successful season. Also Club Championship for 2016, so they can top and put the icing on the cake with a senior premiership, Chris.
Yeah, the senior premiership is what it's all about, isn't it? And to go the season and lose only one game, they would have been pretty confident coming out today, but credit to Queanbeyan, they've taken it up to them.
So there you go. We'll go through and get your best players on the ground in a minute. As the 15-minute mark, it's out there towards Nelson Foley, a couple of their youngsters, their local juniors. Oh, he is an out-and-out warrior. He's Ian Lawless, and Rambo is his nickname, goes down there towards that of Payne, and it's taken away there by Bryce. He battles on manfully, and it's taken away by the Queanbeyan defence out there towards that of Simpson. Simpson for the Tigers in front of Sinkowitz. Comes in board towards Ryan Quaid. Really got to throw the gauntlet now and throw everything through it. No point going wide, goes straight down the middle of the ground. It's the straightest way home here at Manuka Oval. It comes out towards Slater. Slater out towards Mitchell Price. Price comes long down the line out towards Edwards. Edwards just chopped off there by Delves. And Eddie's punched across the line right in front of the Queanbeyan Tigers logo, as the Tricolours fans can sniff a victory here at Star Trek Oval. They're getting behind their side. Big celebrations tonight if they get up at Wakefield Avenue. Of course, the licensed club out there towards that of Vardaniger and Foley, two young guns of the competition. Umpire says, what is he going to call? He's going to call my ball. Line ball there. So the best on ground, we're looking for it. Your tip, David, for the Jezelenko medal?
I still like Curtis or Wiles for mine.
Yeah, Wiles, you're painting. Hard to kick 5 goals in the first quarter and not get a medal.
As he has his third behind in about 3 minutes. But for me, the best player on the ground has been Aaron Wiles. His clearance work has been sensational. And just ahead of Simon Curtis. So very hard to separate. They've had some pretty even contributions, but I also like the game in a losing side from Ryan Quaid, as here comes Ruben Hupp to seal it for the Tricolours. Ruben Hupp, the number 2 for the Tricolours. I think he's got him home here at the 17-minute mark. It is 12-12-84 to the Ainsley's Tricolours, to the Queanbeyan Tigers 8-7-55, Robbo.
Yeah, the crowds are certainly up and about now. I think 5 goals might be a bit too much to ask for Queanbeyan in the last 10 or 12 minutes, so yeah, that might be the sealer there from Ruben.
Well, I do like the game of Ryan Quaid. He's done a job on Salter today, so I wouldn't discount him for the medal. He's been sensational. Really kept one of the stars of the competition under wraps, but it'd be very hard to take one off someone like Wiles, who's been sensational. Maynard's done well, and Milne in the middle of the ground. Maynard's probably shaded him around the ground. Big Milne goes up, the clash of feet, out to Sinkowitz. He's been good too. He's really coming to. He's a bloke that started it all in Rice. Reed Stevens has been a warrior for the Queanbeyan Tigers. Out towards Slater, he's done a couple of nice things. He comes in board as they throw the gauntlet down now out towards Grocott Helwyn. Oh, that is a courageous mark there as the Crow commentators clap there to Clowry.
That was a fantastic mark from Clowry. Back Nick Rewalt, like back in the day at the SCG. What a fantastic mark.
So as it's streamed through onto the big screen here at Star Trek Oval, we'll follow it home with Tim Clowry. He's got to aim it to the top of the right goalpost. It's swinging a bit as the lights come on here. It's getting quite dark. Clowry, not a good shot for goal, but we'll see where it goes. That he does, and he's just pushed it too far. Hasn't aimed it enough. They needed that goal to stay in touch, but it's been an important contest, but never really headed all day, the Tricolours, I'd suggest, Chris.
Yeah, when you get to a fast start like that, you sort of get that comfortable barrier and makes it hard. Like when you've got to chase down 4 or 5 goals just to be in the game, as Sinkiewicz crushes a pack. Yeah, it just gives you got a bubble almost up and about.
A bubble up and about, and that's what they did. They got off to a flyer thanks to the courtesy of Nick Payne. He was tremendous. Milne, he gets it out towards Slater. What's he going to do? He has to go on the left foot. He's not comfortable. Didn't know where to put it, and it's just the easiest of marks to the skipper in as they make error after error now trying to go for broke.
Yeah, he needed to try and get that deeper. Unfortunately, just come off the side of his boot. So yeah, I think, as Robbo alluded to before, Ainsley have always had Queanbeyan at arm's length, and looking like the tricolours have won another flag.
I think they have, so it's going to be a tough day for the judges to pick the best on ground. Of course, they get the prestigious Alex Jezelenko medal as Collins rushes for the ball, keeps on all fours there, out there towards that of another youngster, and he frames for a free kick. And I think he's Jack Carroll Tape's been awarded there, so well done to Jack Carroll Tape. He put his head over the footy against Lawless. Tape puts the ball deep inside the 50, and it's going to be a grab there. It was dropped out towards Milne, tries to break the tackle, the would-be tackler, out there towards the skipper and Swan. He's given him a sniff. The Tigers don't write him off yet.
He's a big man, Swanee, and loves to get on the end of the goal, and always gets them up and about as well.
Leader, he's run himself into the ground, the number 31 for the Ainsley Tricolours. A very impressive season, impressive grand final here today. Very impressed with his game, David.
Yeah, he's certainly had a good game, and I think to the Tigers' credit, they haven't given up throughout the course of the game. That last goal that Ainsley kicked, they probably could have quite easily shut up shop, but they've got one back on the board, and credit to them for running the game out.
There's one thing you will get from the Queanbeyan Tigers. You will get 5-star effort all day, every day. They are a super club, and that's why they've had the successes of recent years. The Queanbeyan Tigers, of course, one of their greats inducted to the Hall of Fame last Sunday in Ron Chook Fowley. So congratulations to Big Chook being inducted to the AFL Canberra Hall of Fame, a very prestigious honour. So he's done a lot to make and shape the club to what it is today. Out there towards now, it's taken away, towed off the ground there, and what's the umpire going to say? Is it going to be deliberate? No, he says it'll be a throw-in. So it was hacked out of the air by James Manny, so the boy from the coast, Pambula boy, Pambula Panthers. As the ball's brought back inside there, and it's taken away by Curtis. Just faded away, Curtis, in the last couple of quarter and a half, but very instrumental in the middle of the game there. Vardaniga dropped what he should have taken, takes them on now. He should have been doing that all game, was young Matt Vardaniga, but it takes a while to get a bit of confidence at this level, particularly when the stakes are so high. It's out to the man who started it all, and Jimmy Rice out towards the goal sneaking Payne, taken away by Bryce. Got a quick handball away to Collins. Collins puts the head down, goes down the wing, looking there for Page. He's battling manfully as young Alex Page. Tackled when not in possession, and gives a free kick away. Probably didn't need to do that, so it'll be a free kick there to Simon Curtis. No, it is. No, it's not Simon Curtis. So it's a free kick there. Number 12 for the Tricolours in young Richardson. On a bit of size is Richardson out towards a good player today in Teesdale. Been very strong down there as Matthew Teesdale. It is out to Simpson. Simpson over to Vardaniga. The long-head twins out towards Swan. Swan over there to Price, I think it was. It was James Manning, too slow, caught in possession, and getting up with the ball is Sinkiewicz. Is he a chance from there, David?
Late in the game, yeah, I'll back him in here. I think he'll have a good crack at it and probably kick the goal. Just notice a lot of the more experienced Ainsley players are now telling their younger teammates just to start to slow things down. So experience from the players out there, and also probably a message coming out from the coaching box is just to slow it down, play a bit of possession footy. And I was wrong with the prediction there, no goal.
They bring it back in through Vardaniga. Vardaniga goes long down the line and brings it out towards that of Clowry. Clowry has a 2-on-1. That's punched away by Costigan out towards Maiden. Maiden puts a big up and under there for Reuben Hutt to the last goal scorer to take a good mark. as Ruben Hupp. No, he's played it to Queanbeyan. Played man in front to Reed Stevens. Stevens goes along down the line looking for Edwards. Edwards needs to put his body on the line there. That he did. He looks a bit like young Nathan Curlin. He's found, I think it's Page, is it, on his own, snuffing at the back to Alex Page. No one leading up at him, and it's going to be a free kick. Yep, it'll be a free kick to Alex Page, and should probably bring him up into front of the square.
Downfield, went through behind, so should be taking this one from... it might be back where he kicked it, actually.
Dean Ross comes off to the ground, and Max Richardson goes back on. So they're going to take the kick back, and I think time's beaten them, but could be well done to the Ainsley Tricolours coaching staff. And just reward for the warrior, the Greendale Warrior, and Jimmy Rice. He's had a fantastic start to the game. Alex Page, he's hit the post, so no joy there for young Alex Page. And congratulations if the Tricolours win it to their coach, longest serving coach ever of the Ainsley Football Club, in Chris Rourke, and he does a power of work behind the scenes for local footy. So just rewards for Rourke. He's a great football person. So, and well done to the Ainsley Tricolours if they're successful today, which I think they will be. And that's a great tackle there taken by Fulham. Tackle Bowles in the square there, anticipated it well. Page, it's beaten them now, it's out towards Barry. He's had a pretty good game as Chris Barry too. He's racked up the possessions. I'd love to see what his stats are. He's brought it into the middle of the ground over there towards that of Teesdale. He's been another star performer on the half-back, out towards another star in Curtis. They can all hold their heads high because they've been great performers here on grand final day. And into the youngster in Nelson Foley. Foley gets a chance at his second.
Tell you what, Nelson Foley's been good today. Good runner, playing as a second string midfielder, but gets forward here and chances his second goal, yeah.
So Teesdale, he's been very good off half-back. I wouldn't be surprised if he bobs up in calculations for the Alex Jezelenko. So a very much unheralded player, but geez, really stood out here on grand final day in 2016. It's young Nelson Foley. He can't put the nail in the coffin, and he only gets a minus score. So it is now the Ainsley Tricolours 12-14-86 at the 26-minute mark over the Queanbeyan Tigers 9-9-63. As we can hear the crowd starting to chant for the Tricolours. Tyler Collins brings the ball back in, goes long down the line looking for that of Swan. It's hacked out of the air by Price, I think it is. That's Mitchell Price. Out there only as far as Richardson. No, it's Kuzner. He's had a blinding first quarter. Out there towards that of Hupp, but it beats them all and rolls over the boundary line for a boundary line throwing. Can't be too long left, David.
No, it shouldn't be too long to go. I like your call earlier, Brett, about Chris Barry. His work across half forward, transitioning in from defence into offence, has been fantastic today and gone a long way for Ainsley to win the game.
He's just one of those silent footballers who just goes about his business week in, week out. He's a guy you like to have. So they've had a lot of five-star performers, and that's Maiden putting the ball out of bounds on the full. And they're going to get some just reward. Of course, a couple of them, former Eastlake Demons, switching across after a couple of seasons in the Hume League, coming across to the Tricolours in towards Slater. He's tried hard all day. Slater, he goes further. They've just got to throw caution into the wind. There's no point going down there, as it's Bryce who's trying to run on down there, and he holds his ground, but sucked in. It's out towards that man Barry again. He's had a mountain of it out towards Salter, he's got a free kick thrown off the ball, tried to play for one there. The umpire says, I'm not having any of it. Now it's brought back into the middle of the ground, and it could be to the man who's going to win the Alex Jezelenko medal. It'll be Aaron Wiles to possibly kick the sealer for the Tricolours, Chris.
I think the result's well and truly set, but the goal here for Wiles is probably a just reward for the hard work he's done. He's racked them up and he's done the team things, used his skills well, and we'll see if his goal kicking's on today as well.
He's going to run up like Dennis Lilly at the MCG. He's gone back about 45 metres as Aaron Wilbur. Wiles, of course, he's a very affectionate person in the AFL Canberra community. He's very popular with all teammates, and does he like it, David?
A good goal from Wilesy there. Capped off, as you guys have alluded to, capped off a pretty good game. And one thing I have liked about Ainsley's game as a whole has been the teamwork that they've probably been drilled into by Rourke. Shared the footy around well, haven't wasted many possessions, and what a great day for Ainsley Football Club.
So as they punch it out to a 29-point margin here, as the shadows come across and descend across Star Trek Oval here in Manuka. 2016 AFL Grand Final day. I think we're going to see the Tricolours get a three-peat here. It'll be a great day for their club, of course, winning the club championship already in 2016, winning the Rising Stars earlier and a reserve grade. So what are we going to see here? There might be wild celebrations, but Ash Harris, the captain, kicks it off the ground out there towards Lawless. He's another star for the Tricolours. Will it be his farewell swan song out towards the man right on cue, and Andrew Swan hacks the ball down. Clary, and it's a free kick he's got pushed into. So Tim Clary, the former Demon, former St Eddie's product is Tim Clary. Great to see all these local juniors come up through the ranks and get an opportunity to play here on Grand Final day. Clary brings the ball into the middle of the ground only as far as looking for Grocott. Out there towards a little paddle down. He gets onto that left foot out there towards Milne. He's battled manfully all day. He's tried hard as the big ruckman. And there's the final siren. Here's the premiers for 2016 AFL Canberra. It is the Ainsley Tricolours victorious 13-14-92 to the Queanbeyan Tigers 9-9-63 as the crowd descends and all the banners from all the previous grades coming on. Chris Robbo, in a nutshell, the Tricolours best player, Alex Jezelenko medalist.
The man who likes to refer to himself as the red-headed Wanganeen, Aaron Wilbur-Wiles.
There's your Jezelenko medalist. David Evans, the Giants Academy coach for 2016, your Jezelenko medalist.
Yeah, I'll jump on the wagon and say Wiles as well. Curtis was good for the opposition. Reid Stevens, Swan came into the game late, but probably didn't do enough early. So well done to Ainsley. Was too good. What a great season for the club.
So there you have it as the crowd descends and mobs all the players. Well done to Chris Rourke and the club at Ainsley Football Club. Of course, the premierships are for everyone. A lot of people involved there. A lot of people stalwarts in the club. I hope you enjoyed our broadcast today. A big thank you to the Tuggeranong Hawks skipper for 2016, Chris Robinson. Really enjoyed your insights today. Of course, Dave Evans, where will we see you in 2017? That's the question mark. Will it be at the Giants Academy or will it be at a local Canberra club? But it is Ainsley here, victors 13-14-92 against the Queanbeyan Tigers 9-9-63. The 2016 AFL Canberra Premiers, the Ainsley Tricolours. I'm Brett Davis. I hope you enjoyed our live stream for 2016.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly start the presentations for the first grade grand final. A fantastic day and season for the Afl Tricolours, running out winners in all three grades. To make the presentations, we have a number of special guests here today. First of all, I'd like to introduce Mr. Doug Dorman, who will be presenting the Dorman Family Premiership Cup in first grade. Put your hands together for Doug. Another special guest who currently plays for the Melbourne Demons and was recruited from the Afl Tricolours, Aaron Vandenberg. And we have some other very special guests to present the medallions. We have our Auskicker umpires, and we also have our Auskickers from the Afl Tricolours that will be presenting medals to the Premiership winners. So to start off with our presentations for our umpires, we'd like to call forward our goal umpires. Rodney Burns, and Andrew Miller. Our boundary umpires, Michael Barlow, Liam Cashin, Jeffrey Gamble, Matthew Thompson, our emergency umpire, Nick McGuinness, and our field umpires, Brad Burns, Ben Izzard, Samuel Nicholas, thank you to our umpires. Put your hands together for our first grade umpires. Our next presentation is to the individual that was judged best on ground in the grand final, and that goes to the Afl Tricolours, number 3, Nick Payne. We now like to call forward a representative from the Queensland Tigers to say a few words on behalf of their team. Put your hands together for Kay Clanky.
I just want to say well done, mate. You guys were the best team all year, and you showed it again today. Thank you for the supporters, thank you for the umpires, also boys. Look, you had a crack today, I can't fault your efforts, and just keep your head up and another crack next year. Thank you.
Thanks, Kay. And to say a few words on behalf of the Afl Tricolours, a representative, please come forward. Ash Harris, captain.
Firstly, congratulations on the work you've been going on all year and with the young sponsors side of the government. We're my boys, looking proud, great football down there at Blakes, and congratulations to the other 13 on their today. The whole 3 club was also looked like amazing, and
Thanks, Ash. So we'll now call forward the premiers in number order, and they will receive a medallion from our Ainsley Oz tickets. We'll get them to stand behind the premier's signage, and we'll get a photograph of that. Number 1, and apologies for all the name mistakes, I say, Scott Seinkowitz. Number 2, Ruben Hutt. Number 3, and best on ground, Nick Payne. Number 5, Nick Salter. Number 6, Aaron Wiles. Number 7, Michael Wallace. Number 8, Ian Laws. Number 10, Nelson Foley. Number 11, Josh Maynard. Number 12, Max Richardson. Number 13, Jed Costigan. Number 14, Ben Naden. Number 18, Jeremy Hurst. Number 20, Simon Curtis. Number 21, Chris Barry. Number 23, Henry Dells. Number 25, Jimmy Rice. Number 28, Damien Bowles. Number 31, Dan Leder. Number 33, Matthew Teasdale. Number 34, Jack Guzman. We'll call forward the captain, number 9, Ash Harris. And we'll call forward the coach, Chris York. And without further ado, we'll get Doug Dorman to pass on the FJ Dorman Premiership Cup to Coach and Captain. Congratulations to the Ainsley Tricolours, first grade premiers. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for making me cheer at Manuka Oval. A big thanks to all competing teams, and especially our little us because they helped us out there in our presentations. Safe travels, and look forward to seeing you next year for the 2000.